everybody to the Toivoan Trainwreck. We are missing Tati and Bryn today. They are fine. Bryn's out on a pre-planned business trip, and Tati got surprised by a business trip. So they are okay. They're fine. They will be back. Tati will be back next week, but Bryn is going to be gone for this week and next week. So they'll be back in a few weeks. Couple things before we do get started, though. If you know someone who wants to play in a Geomeric game, send them my way. I'd love to talk to them about either getting on the waitlist for a campaign slot, which that waitlist is getting longer, so get on it when you can, or getting into a one-shot. And I will be doing some one-shots soon, so look for those announcements over on Patreon, and then subsequently in the Discord, and then in the social medias. We also have the YouTube channel where we have the GM tip videos every single day. We have the archives and podcasts over there. We have the clip contest going on, and the prize for this month's clip contest is one of these awesome Geomeric hats. So if you're interested in winning one of these hats, toss your clips and timestamps in the Discord channel. And these are so big that the snapback hats allow it to fit even my massive dome. So go check that out. Lastly, we have the Battle Royale. That is going to be happening on July 27th. If you have not participated, it is a ton of fun. The sportsmanship is great, and it is the only way to get a Geomeric bomber jacket. If you're interested in getting one of those, you need to sign up and participate. It's going to be an absolute blast. That's at 4 p.m. Central Time on July 27th. The signups for that are on the website over at geomeric.com in the one-shots in the store. So let's get you guys rolling because we've got lots to cover today, and you guys came to play some D&D. Alrighty. Well, you guys are adventuring in the lands of Toivoa. Having defeated Segeos on the Isle of Srona, you returned to Nausha in order to restock and reset and determine where to search for Saphira's body. After significant investigation, you discovered that her soul has been abducted, claimed, or otherwise is now in the possession of a succubus by the name of Kendall, who you are familiar with. The rumor is that she is currently held at the Fortress of Crimson Glass on the edge of Hell. In order to gain access to the fortress, though, you need to collect a means to weaken the bonds between Kendall, the wards, and the fortress itself. To that end, you've spoken with a pirate slash evil individual by the name of, oh gosh, Eric just drew a brain fart.
Ashlyn Delise.
Ashlyn Delise, I'm sorry, thank you. And she has told you that the key to getting to Kendall lies here in Vehan, within the Glimmer Deep. So, you have come just next door to Bourbon, where you have decided to do a little bit of recon and knowledge gathering in order to figure out what steps you have to take in order to get to Vehan and how you would like to proceed. Oshin has just cast the teleport spell, and because you have an associated object, you have arrived intact and on target. So, we will find you guys currently located in the city of Bourbon. It is dismal, it is muggy and wet. The streets here smell like brimstone and ashes. There's a clamminess, almost as if the air itself is oily upon your skin. As you arrive, each of you instantly is a little bit moist.
What else is new?
Well,
Honestly, still better than the last time we were here.
you look around, there are no fiends walking around as far as you can tell. The mood seems somewhat lighter than last time, if not the appearance of the area. What would you like to do?
How's it smell? What's the scent?
The scent is rotten eggs and ash, carbon. There have been fires here recently. It's unpleasant.
Could be worse.
Yeah, they're still in the process of cleaning after, taking the whole city and getting rid of all the demons and everything else.
Why are we here again?
Well, it got us one step closer to where we need to be, and maybe there's something in the city that can help. I don't know if we really want to stop here and try and get some information, or maybe a ship or something, but...
I'm going to be real, Jason, that was so vague.
I thought it was just going to be a staging ground, and we're just going to kind of chill here for a moment and then move out.
That's also vague. I still don't know why we're here.
We're here because we're closer...
We go to Glimmerdeep, right?
Yeah, Vakan, I think that's how it's pronounced, is nearby to here, so we teleported here to get closer to Vakan, and Vakan is hiding Glimmerdeep, which is a prison, an underwater prison. Or Vehan, sorry. I wrote it with a C for some reason. Vehan.
Wait, the prison's
we're
underwater.
gonna go there.
I realize that part.
I think so. I think they said that.
Oh,
Or at least
I
it's
can breathe underwater.
controlled by dragons. I cannot, so we're gonna have to deal with that when we get there. And yeah, we're going there to break out the guy that's Kendall's ex, who may or may not be able to get us an invite into the palace itself, or fortress, and potentially is a weakness against Kendall as well.
Considerably less vague. I can work with that.
You were here for all those conversations,
Yeah, but was I?
That's fair.
Mentally.
You may have been counting money. Now the question becomes, we know that Vehan is a hive of scum and villainy. So the question is, how do we get in there?
Start crushing ladybugs.
What?
Get a name. Like metaphorically. Like, we gotta pose as villains to get in.
Oh,
Well, I think I'm
yeah,
already
that's-
like 90%, no, 100% of the way there.
Police seem to take a show of force. Be expected.
Well, I thought she was also saying that because she's kind of known as a bad person in these circles. So if she shows up, shows she's strong, and then goes in, that's kind of expected. If some no-names show up and start flexing their power, that might even raise some questions.
What, so you don't want the Green Dragon to show up and talk about how all the adventurers they murdered?
Honestly worry that they might know you through reputation. This group's not exactly the most subtle, and we've kind of made a name for ourselves.
I'm not really a fan of subtlety.
We know, Ruth, don't worry.
Reputation? I mean, not a bad problem to have. I mean, in this instance, it is a very bad problem to have, but on a grander scale, I can live with that.
Well, what if the reputation is that they all fear us?
That's fair too, but I don't know if our reputation's big enough to cow an entire city. It might be enough to unite the city to kill us.
Isn't that kind of the same thing?
Yeah, that literally is.
Well, if it is enough to make the whole city fear us in terms of none of them will act, that's enough. If it's enough to make them all act simultaneously, that's exactly what we don't want to have happen.
I mean, isn't this place still kind of a dump as is? I don't think they can. I think they're all gonna figure out their own little petty squabbles rather than all unite against us.
Honestly, I don't know how much of a dump it is, but we do know that what's left of Bourbon retreated that way, and we may have raided Bourbon, but it was never exactly a pushover of a city.
Well, why don't we get down to brass tacks then? We're trying to get into an underwater prison, if I'm hearing it correctly. So let's get everybody suited up to breathe underwater. And let's just, snowball.
I mean, seems reasonable to me. We can see if there's anything in the city that can help with that. we could always speak with some people here to see if they have any tips on getting onto the island and into the prison, but I don't know how much they'll know about that. Maybe if there's anyone in the government that still has connections to the former government, because I believe that the islands, or Bourbon and the island Vehan, were allies in the past, so it's possible that if there's any of the old infrastructure left, they could still have tips.
Could be a former jailer, you know, retired somewhere down here.
Surely there's like a potion of water breathing somewhere in this town, no?
I think so. Are those even something that we could craft?
I don't know how to make that crap. Get the potion makers on that.
There's an irony to drinking a liquid to be able to breathe liquid. It's tough to wrap my mind around.
I guess. It's a little odd, isn't it?
Okay, well then, how about we start with hitting the shop? Wherever, I doubt there's like a full-on magic shop, but probably a low retail potion brewer. I'd actually even do a check on Coin. I think he would have a semblance of where like a potion shop would be, given his background.
Cool.
What role would you prefer for that?
A history check. You're shooting for a 10 on this one. So, with a 15, you're able to recall a shop that you visited in the past or were told about by Sweet August Rose as a location where you can get resources here in Bourbon. It's a former den of the House of Flowers.
Alright, so I know a place.
Do we
They
need
may...
the other types of potions while we're there?
Auntie will say, I believe she has like the spores, right? The air spores. So I
Yes.
think she is covered for underwater.
She's fine.
Bryn, I'm not so sure. I would think he needs something. He would probably want to pick up a potion too, I'm guessing.
I think that is legitimate. 100%.
Oh, I would need one as well to breathe underwater. I meant when we go to look for those, do we need any like healing potions or things? Because I don't have any.
There, you get the old bagaroony out. Rummage through it. Wouldn't hurt to stock our bottom line. I don't think we're SOL if we get caught as is, but you know, 2 superior healings are kind of our Hail Mary right now. Outside of abilities. So yeah, I'll pick a few up.
Okay.
Then we'll head to the former the den as was described.
Cool. So as you guys travel through the streets of Bourbon, you can eventually find your way to the House of Flowers den. As you come in, you are greeted by a voice. Who's there?
People,
That's notoriously vague.
people of many walks of life.
A woman
my
dressed
name-
in
Oh.
gray robes comes out. Can I help you?
Yeah, could you direct us to the hydro breathing potion shelf?
Hydro breathing. You mean potions of water breathing? We have
Maybe.
those. But who are you?
I mean, Coin's gonna gauge it. MC Toad Coin. We're out of towners.
Oh, the entrepreneur.
The one and only. Well, the one in Thule.
See, I told you we're known.
The mayor has spoken of you.
All good things, I'm sure.
No. But enough.
Oh man, I was sure.
Well, you were wrong. Being sure is one thing. Being accurate sometimes is another.
I don't believe everything you hear.
I don't. So, how many of these potions do you need?
How long do they last?
An hour?
You guys think we could be in and out in an hour?
I feel like 2 per person wouldn't be a bad idea, because that way, if the first one's running out, we know down the second one and pull out.
Can we get a nose goes on who needs a potion to survive?
Do we think that
I have no need of
we might
one.
want to get there, or is the whole place underground? Like we'll need it while we're there.
No idea.
Yeah, we don't really know.
It was
I'll
pretty
be honest.
vague.
I'm imagining we'll get to the island. We'll have to go into water to get there, and then, of course, as long as that takes, and then coming back out, which is why I think 2 to be safe. As it is, there's always a chance that we don't need these at all, but I'd rather have them, because if we get there and can't get in, that's going to be a problem.
Alright, Oshin needs one. Sazin needs one. Ruzid, you need one, right? Bryn
Well, not
needs
right
one.
now, but like in an emergency where I
At
get
some
hurt
point.
out of this form, maybe.
At some point, we would logistically want to have one for you at least. So that's 4. And 3 of us should be covered. So, how much would 8 of these water breathings run us?
8. Oh,
Minus through 200 gold.
That's a lot of potions. Let me do my math. And she pulls out an abacus in order to figure out exactly how much you're going to be charged. So, she's going to charge you 1,400 gold pieces.
Is that before or after the 200 gold negotiation?
That's after the 200 gold negotiation.
Alright.
I will say, keep in mind that we could probably pull a scroll of water breathing from the hat as well.
Yeah, that's...
And that would cover the whole group, which is also a possibility if we just want to.
How much for 7?
For 7? 1,200.
Can I talk you down to 1,152? Just so I don't have to do math?
I have already done the discount. You are robbing me blind.
Tell you what, you drop it down
It's
to
already
1,152, and I'll also buy 2 potions of healing. But only if you drop it.
Very well, but the potions of healing will not be at a discount.
Understood. Coin will pay for the water breathing for 7. How much is the 2 basic potions gonna run him?
100 gold total.
Okay. I do that haggle specifically because we have 61k, 152 in bank, so it's just now I can just go to a flat 60k.
Mm-hmm. Your OCD is messing with you.
Yeah, and then I have to drop it 100 anyways because of the other purchase. I'll just take that out of my own funds though.
Okay.
I will update the bag of holding to reflect our water breathings. If anyone can think of anything, has anyone updated the bag? Because I'm now updating it, and we have 5 water breathings already in here.
I don't think we ever checked. I think we might have just had those and not said anything.
Coin is just shuffling these into the bag, and he's like, "Why are there already so many in here?" Oh well.
That's priceless.
For the record, because Bryn, I believe, last week actually made the preparation.
Wonderful. Well, now we have 12, everybody. So Don't worry about drowning.
Great. Unless the one person holding the bag fails to.
Then panic.
What is
Didn't
the
we put these on our
probability of
potion
that
belt so we're
anyway?
not having them all in the bag of holding when we actually do need to use them?
Yeah,
No.
you probably should.
You're just gonna say that and then not take any action, or
I am. I don't need one. I'm not gonna put one on my
Oh.
belt.
Yeah, I'll put one on my belt then.
Ruzid takes one out and puts it on his tail belt.
Okay.
I'll just grab it from the bag when we need it.
How much would 2 greater healing potions be?
2 greater potions of healing. Potions of greater healing. Greater healing would be 300 gold.
All right. If that's available, I'll take those as well. But I'll just mark it off my own gold. It's fine.
I don't have many more potions. The war effort took a lot out of us.
Do you have?
Don't want to ask which side she was fighting on.
Do you have a potion for like charm resistance? Like, bro, I'm asking for like in a reverse beer, basically.
Reverse beer. You mean water?
No, I actually don't mean water.
What do you
This
mean?
kind of reverse beer, often the result of many beers.
Okay, this bit is not landing. So we're going to fight some succubuses. I'd rather not we be charmed by their shenanigans. Just curious if you got anything on the market.
She looks at you. Unfortunately, no. That is not something that we carry.
That was worth asking.
Perhaps so. It depends on your perspective.
Do you have any like obscure potion recipes
No.
that you would be willing to?
No, we do
put
not negotiate in recipes. Not unless you are a member of the House of Flowers proper yourself. Which you do not appear to be.
No, I actually think some of you guys hate me based on previous interactions.
Are we supposed to be killing you?
I wouldn't say that you're supposed to. I have at some point in my life been stabbed in the back by an associate of the Flowers. But that's water under the bridge.
An interesting expression coming from a grung.
Well, yeah, that water's great. It's got shade. I love bridge water.
I mean, let's be realistic here. If you try to make a move, it's probably not going to end well. I mean, unless there's like some super amazing assassin underneath those robes that I'm not aware of.
Didn't they cancel the hit on you? Because everything was chill, something like that.
I don't remember that. Doesn't sound like a thing the House of Flowers would do. Would just be like, yeah, everything's chill, and then cancel the hit.
I'm gonna
It's
kick
been a
Reese in
while.
the leg.
It's been a while, but I think Pitney Bones was associated with the House of Flowers, and then she sent people from them on their behalf, but I don't know what her association is with the Flowers now.
I am unsure.
Water under the bridge.
I do not know the name.
Well, you should keep it that way. Not worth it.
Is there anything
Quite a-
else I can help you with, perhaps? Knowledge? Or information?
I specifically asked for both of those, and you were not able to help me.
Well,
So,
I cannot help you
probably-
with potion recipes, no.
yeah, what's the weirdest potion you've ever had in stock?
Ever had in stock? I
Yeah.
had a potion that turned people pink, then green.
Sorry to hear that.
Did it last forever?
It did. And whenever
Yeah, it
they
did.
were happy, they would turn pink. And whenever they would sad, they would turn green.
Sounds
Could
kinda
they-
crappy.
Could they like modify the colors, or were they stuck with pink?
They could not. It was quite unfortunate. It was
man.
like a mood ring, but
It's even worse.
more evident.
That's a wacky one.
Indeed. It proved useful for the event.
Coin will peruse for a while. As a potion maker, he's kind of just getting a kick out of seeing, like, how does she make this? But I don't think he will be purchasing or asking anything at this point.
Cool. Anybody else want to do anything?
I believe we're done.
I guess I'll shot in the dark. I'd roll on Bryn's behalf, maybe like an insight check of if he would have anything to ask here,
Sure.
which is a roundabout way of, does the DM identify a valuable question that the party doesn't? I don't have his character sheet. Do you know what
Let's just
his?
go and roll a d20 and see where
Insight.
we're at.
That's fine with me too. 17.
With the 17, Bryn is going to look at the rest of the party and he's going to start the telepathic bond because that's what Bryn does. And then he's going to ask, so should we ask this person if they know anything about the Glimmerdeep, or should we ask about perhaps any knowledge they might have of Vehan? I mean, they're kind of a clandestine organization, so maybe they have spies everywhere. Maybe they have assassins. Maybe they know something about the Glimmerdeep. Maybe we could check with them and find knowledge that we don't have access to. Perhaps they've got contacts. You know, we've got Sweet August Rose in this town. Maybe we can reach out to her, or maybe one of the other people. You know, there's a ton of people in this town, and how exactly are we going to get to Vehan? Are we going to try to teleport there, or are we going to try to swim? How are we going to get there? Because we don't have the boat or anything.
Tati will say, Bryn,
Yeah?
love the ideas, all great ideas. I'm thinking maybe discretion is best. Maybe we don't alert everybody in town that we're trying to get to Glimmerdeep.
That's why I did not want to speak with the
That's a good
spy
point. That's a good
organization
point.
that
Yeah.
might kill us.
But Tati will reiterate, great ideas, we'll shelf them. Might return to them.
Yeah, there is an
After the-
8.357% chance that it would have failed.
Don't do the math.
Wait, now it's already failed because you've made a calculation
Ah.
about it.
Damn it.
that was very brilliant.
God damn it.
I do think Sweet August Rose might be our best bet in terms of an actual ally we have that might have some sway and information.
Indeed.
Like, this person might know something, but I almost feel like if we tell them anything, they're just as likely to sell the information to the next person, which is exactly what we don't want to be dealing with.
Well, thank you, ma'am, for all of your help and everything. But I think our business is concluded because I can't think of a reason to talk to you.
Rude. Tati says, rude.
Tati says rude. Not wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it'd be fair enough. But Bryn says goes. Let's ditch.
All right. So, as you guys depart from here, you head back out into the town. So, where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
Where is Sweet August Rose?
Probably the manor. Is that castle? Whatever the center of the town is.
Okay, you want to go there?
Tati
Yeah,
says,
we-
"Ooh,
everyone
let's
down
go
to-
there. Manor sounds fun.
Okay,
Coin concurs.
cool. So you're headed towards the manor. As you make your way towards the Citadel gates, the gates here are mostly damaged, but intact enough. As you approach, you see a figure lounging in front of the gates, and she stands up and flexes her wings. Well, ain't you cute? Hot damn. She looks at the entire party. You're not sure who she's saying is cute.
They're after Brit again. Keep him safe.
It blushes and just assumes it's him.
She strides forward. So, you all are the Trainwreck. I recognize most of you. I don't know the horny one, though.
Hey, did you just call us the train wreck?
I mean, there's a few horny ones, no?
Do people call
I
us
thought
that?
she was talking about Tati. But...
She's pointing at Ermenos.
Oh yeah, right.
I mean, don't 3 of us have horns? Okay.
No.
New, huh? Well, I think you're a good addition. Just saying. So, what do you want here?
I mean, I told we know a guy, or we know a person.
You know a person. Anyone that I know?
We're here to see Sweet August Rose.
Oh! She smiles broadly. Well, that could happen. But why?
In the market for some information, as it were, and having helped liberate Bourbon, figured a little information's always good between friends.
Fair enough, fair enough. Keep your secrets, keep your secrets. Who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? I'm just trying to be accommodating and bodyguardish, you understand. She kind of put me in charge over here.
Oh, totally understandable, totally understandable. Just, gotta be careful about blabbing secrets in the open when we can hear.
Right. None of you are single, are you?
No, I'm married.
I think almost all of us are.
Grin is.
I'll
I'm
play
gonna
it
push it forward.
Sizen.
Oh yeah, he's single and ready to mingle, right?
Since Bryn's
Bryn
not
says,
here,
"Oh,
we're
no,
going to try to hook him up. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's exactly what we're hearing.
Yeah.
Understood.
I think Bryn would be. No, guys, thank you, but I think I'm all right.
Grin,
Yeah.
Grin, you gotta take one for the team. Listen, come on. We need to get through that door.
He says, I don't want to mix my work and my play.
That's fair. I don't know if anyone here has ever seen Grin play at
We
all.
can give Bryn the day off.
He says, I don't play. That's why I don't want to do this. That's why you never see me do it.
Is and Ruza looks at the scaled lady. Is hooking up a requirement to get through the gates? Or...
Oh no, not at all. I just
Bryn
figured
sighs
I'd
bitterly.
offer.
You're like 50% of my type, almost.
What does that mean?
I mean, look at her. She's like half dragon. Well, I guess I'm half dragon, but like she's like half scaled. I don't know. I'm more of like I like the 100% scales.
I get that. It's just,
Machine's 0% your type?
If
It's
you
just
gotta go
such-
all or nothing, right? Like I don't know. It's hard to describe. But also, Osheen's all big and fluffy. I love that. And Ruza kind of gives Osheen a little hug.
I'll pat him on the side.
I respect your candidness of telling someone they're 50% attractive.
Have I
Is that
ever
just a
been? Have I
very-
ever been subtle? Remember.
No. You actually had a cloak of billowing for a long while, so subtle is not in my lexicon. In a good way. In a good way.
He looks at you guys. You're a little weird. You know that?
Who isn't?
I
Says
mean,
Todd.
yeah.
Well, if you want in, I can let you in.
Hi, I'm Tati. You have a lovely manner. You should, do you do tours? We would love a tour.
That
Of
is
this manner.
actually
Very
100% 100% Tati. Just saying.
That's so right.
Yeah. I really channeled right there for a second.
Yeah. So she smiles. Well, I
Hopefully we're
don't
gonna
give
get into good
tours.
impressions of every character.
I don't give tours, but let me see if I can get Miss Rose for you. One moment. And she is going to depart from here and go into the Citadel and close the door behind her, not letting you in. After about 10 minutes, she returns. So, yeah, she can meet you at the office. Do you know where that is?
Nope.
No, we do not.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and show you the way. And she's going to start walking through the halls and escort you into the very ruined palace. As you walk through the gates, the main tower of the Citadel has fallen over. The 7-story building has collapsed into rubble across the entire quad.
Is this manor like adorned at all? You know, is there armor in the hallways on stands, that kind of thing?
You're not inside yet. She's walking towards what looks like a building off to the side, not actually the main Citadel. Because this place is still destroyed. They haven't rebuilt since they took over the city.
Dang.
Sounds like your masonry services are needed here too, Oshin. Might be stretched a little thin.
Yeah, I'll add that to the list of things to do.
Right. Well, here we are, and she's going to escort you to an office that looks like this. Give me just a few moments. You smell the beeswax candles in here. It's cool and fairly stark, but there's books on the bookshelf and a chair off to the side. Looks like a very utilitarian office.
He says we're gonna need way more chairs. There are 7 of us.
How
This
big
is a
is
very
the
cramped
room?
room.
How big is this area? Like the room?
The entire room is probably 30 by 30,
How tall is the ceiling?
10 feet.
Oh, that's tall enough. If I crouch.
All right. Well, walking into the room, you see Sweet August Rose walk into the room.
It's a nice desk.
Oh, good. You're still alive.
Uh-huh.
All of us.
Are you really surprised? Come on, what could kill us?
Yeah, we're unstoppable.
Where's Saphira?
Alive, technically.
I'll shake the bag of holding.
Still, yeah, still
He
alive.
says, oh, she's a little bit over here, a little bit over there.
Okay, she's not in pieces. Oh, kind of. I guess the soul is a
Well-
piece of you.
I will
Wait,
open the bag of holding and pull out her
The reason
head.
we are here.
Her head comes out.
And then the shoulders and everything else.
Oh, the
She's sneaky.
shoulders are attached.
yeah, fortunately.
That's unfortunate.
She's more of a night
I
owl
do-
these days.
I do know some pretty powerful priests if you need them.
I
Yeah,
don't think
this
a
is
priest
more
can
of a-
fix that. The soul's gone.
We had a slight brush with some cards of many magical powers, which separated the soul from the body here.
She just couldn't help herself. She just had to draw from it.
That does sound like her. You think she'd learn after the last time?
Wait, she drew from a deck of many before?
No, just the general need to be rescued by you.
Oh
What?
yeah, we did kind of save her ass previously, and then she immediately got her souls like siphoned away.
First
I
of
mean,
all, you clearly don't know Saphira if you think she'd ever learn from her mistakes.
I was thinking the same thing.
I was hoping, but I suppose we all learn at our own pace. I mean, if you all remember, how we met the first time was when you were asking me for a favor in trying to figure out how to save Saphira. I believe it was
guess,
information about Masaba.
Now that you
Yeah.
say that, that is kind of funny, isn't it? We just keep going back to you for Saphira advice. Huh. I guess you're our Saphira savior.
I'd like to be. I like that. Saphira savior. Hopefully, I can extend my savior powers to more than just Saphira. But I assume you're
Baby
here
steps.
to collect on the debt that I owe you.
I think that's a separate boon, but
Just keeping track. Oh yeah, I am.
It's not much, but she gestures towards the city. I did promise you land, titles, tax incentives, if anything you'd want. In addition to whatever you looted while you were, fighting on my behalf.
The tax incentives was for me, Rosa.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying you should open up a new branch here. That's right.
Oh, I will.
Yeah, I believe it was
Yeah.
for 30 or 40 years.
Mm-hmm. I got it in writing.
So, how can I help you, fine gentlemen? And you're new. What's your name?
I am Urmenos.
I'd apologize. Hopefully, you last longer than your previous colleague did. Be careful around these guys. They're pretty dangerous, and they get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I'm dangerous for the enemies. And
Uh,
maybe my
the way-
life-
Happy says we
I
get
don't
out
know
of
if
a lot
she's-
of trouble too. So
I don't know if she's talking about Saphira or the other person that replaced Saphira and died.
I
There was
guess we
another
are
one?
on a hot
Yes.
streak.
Yeah, exactly.
nope.
maybe both.
Well, how can I help you,
I did
gentlemen? If
survive.
it's not here to collect on your on what you're owed.
Well, we're trying to narrow down the pathway to Saphira. I guess Glimmer Deep is the most of importance place next on our roadmap. But the party may have better questions, but do you think you may know anything on getting to the Palace of the Crimson Shard Glass?
okay. A few
Then what was it called?
few questions here. First of all, we're going to Vehan, which has Glimmerdeep, the prison run by Tritons, which is on this island, Vehan, the island very close to here. We were wondering if you had any connections still there, any possible way to get us in there or to the prison. I know it's where a lot of the people from Bourbon ran to after Bourbon fell. So maybe it's not a place you have good relations, but still some connections. And then we are trying to go to the Fortress of Crimson Glass, which is a spot nearby the Hells, but that's all we really know about it so far. So if you've heard anything about it, we would love any information you might have.
At the moment, I don't particularly know much about the Crimson Hells. My ability to quickly gather information has been rather limited since Echo left with the eye, unfortunately.
Yep.
Before, I would be able to. There's an orb. It would render you most people catatonic, but I was able to use it to spy upon many different locations. But Echo, rightfully, deservedly, took that particular artifact when he went back to the oh my god, I forgot
Endless
what it's called.
Pinnacle?
The Endless Pinnacle. There we go. He pops in every now and then to check on the progress of the temple to Amarazi that's being built, but I haven't seen him in a few weeks.
Would
yeah,
Bryn
is
be
that
able to infer what orb that is? I don't think he would ask explicitly, but I'm.
Bryn would not ask unless. Actually, you know what?
he
He
wouldn't.
would ask. He would absolutely ask.
I'm not even asking whether he would say something. Just would he know based on description an idea of what?
He would not
is
know,
being
and he would ask. So, what exactly is this orb?
It's called the Eye of Kydron. Not actually related to the dragon Kydron, because he still has all his eyes, as far as I'm aware. But it's an artifact that my party won during a long and grueling trial that we went through.
Interesting.
yeah, it's. Have you ever heard of those magic orbs and tails that let you touch things and see things far away? It's kind of like that, except more powerful. It pierces most defenses and non-scrying effects.
Definitely seems like a handy thing to keep a hold of.
Interesting.
Yes. And before you ask, Echo is almost certainly not going to let you use it. He has many virtues, but generosity is not exactly one of them.
What's the deal with Echo? Wasn't that fellow's like a dragon or something with you? And then what's like you went to this endless pinnacle place? Sounds kind of crazy.
So Echo is the high priest of Amarazi now, the newest dragon god.
Oh
And-
yeah.
You may remember him. He's the little kobold, or I guess normal-sized kobold, gold-colored wings.
Yeah, I remember him.
Very intelligent, very wise person, but you know, does have that dragon-like tendency to hoard.
I mean, who doesn't?
Lots of people.
Oh, it's just me? Okay.
You can work on that if you like.
No, it's fun.
But as far Eric, would I know about, or would Rose know about this prison? Because I don't think she knows anything about the hells or anything
You
like
do
that.
not
That's
know
outside
anything
of
about
purview.
this.
About
You-
this prison.
You don't know about Glimmerdeep. As far as Vehan, the information you'd have about Vehan is that most of the refugees that have left Bourbon seeking a place to continue their dastardly ways, the fiends, the ne'er-do-wells, the people you've been running out of town and unable to kill, would have fled mostly to either Vehan, to South Cove, or deeper into Reston, where they will eventually cause problems for other campaigns.
And as far as that prison, yes, I am aware of where it is.
Um,
Part of our
you wouldn't know where Glimmerdeep itself is. That would not be something you would know.
I'm aware of it.
You are aware of it?
No. I'm getting them confused. I'm sorry. Which Glimmerdeep is this hell prison, right?
No, there's...
Okay, so
You got a couple things. Glimmerdeep is inside the island of Vehan. It's somewhere over there. You don't know about that. The Fortress of Crimson Glass is where Saphira's soul is, and they have just told you about that. You did not know about that either.
Where is the island of I'm guessing it's this little island off southwest of Bourbon?
Yes,
Okay.
Vehan is southwest of Bourbon. Correct.
Okay. So I'm aware of this place. As per our agreement, I promised, I believe it was Tati, that I would, and Sison, that I would end slavery in this city as expediently as I can, and we are into the process. However, many of the nobility vehemently disagreed with my decisions. Some of them tried to fight, and some of them fled to Behan. They're currently refugees.
Sounds like
And
we'd be doing you a favor if we went there then, huh?
they're most of them left their assets here. I really don't care what happens to them. I know they took many of the demons and other foul creatures that were living in the city with them. Many of them are quite powerful, I should warn you. But as far as my intelligence goes, they're my enemies, and honestly, they're outside of my power, and they're outside of my concern at the moment. I haven't really been focusing too much on what they've been doing. If you like, I could provide you a boat to get there.
How big?
It's actually our only boat. It's the only Cervantes ship that we managed to keep. The rest were either destroyed or their pirates or their captains fled and became pirates. There's an outstanding bounty, by the way, for every single Cervantes ship you can find and bring back. Just letting you know.
Ooh, that might be something we could do later. We were in the market for a ship, so if there are a lot of those sailing the seas, it could be handy.
Mind.
You're familiar with the whole crystal baler thing in the hold, right?
Yeah, our last ship was a Sfonte's ship, which we took
Yeah.
and disarmed
He
that.
says, yep.
Yeah,
Yep, yep.
so you're aware of the dangers. Most people I advise not to do that. Keep the boats, give them back to us, and we can use them properly. But you have experience with such matters, and you're still alive, so I'll trust it that you know what you're doing.
Out of curiosity, what did you do with the crystal in the ship that you do hold?
It's still there. We haven't disarmed it. Honestly, I've been a bit busy. She gestures at the city to worry about a single boat and the issue with the crystals in the hold.
I mean, I'll look at the group. We could likely take care of that for you if you were willing to lend us the ship as a way of saying thank you.
From my understanding, the crystal helps power the boat.
Yeah, but it
we just
also.
failed
People
ours.
say, yeah, but it also. Were there people on the stone? Did you check?
No, as far as I'm aware, there's no people on the stone as of right now. Perhaps that's why I couldn't leave port.
Okay, good. Just checking, she says.
I want to be clear though. I wouldn't be opposed to keeping the crystal there. It's like I said. I've said this before. There's no such thing as good or evil.
And it looks cool.
It looks
Says
cool.
Tati.
It could be useful. Perhaps prisoners, political enemies could be used to power it. I'm not.
Well-
I'm not above such things.
Right.
Tati says, so you're abolishing slavery and oppression. But it sort of feels like that is a form of oppression.
Oh, doesn't it kill them instantly when they get like sucked into the crystal?
It keeps them alive until it sucks them in, though. That's the danger.
So it's like an agonizing death.
Doesn't it turn the person into a whatever?
The demon.
I think it
Balrog
tears
or
out their
whatever.
soul to summon the demon.
There was that time where I was like kind of thinking about touching the crystal and how I'd turn into like an awesome demon dragon, but then thought that that'd probably be a bad idea.
That'd probably be a bad idea.
And we are
Yeah,
glad
you're
you
right.
didn't.
So I would
So
rather it.
cool.
I would rather it if you didn't destroy the crystal on my boat. I need these ships to help rebuild my city.
Oh, we wouldn't destroy it. We would just sink it to the Mariana Trench, so to speak.
But isn't that destroying it?
It's still intact down there.
Yeah, we
Presumably.
would remove the crystal and put it in a safe place.
Yeah, but weren't you saying the crystal powers the ship, so we need the crystal unless we got an alternative power?
It doesn't power the ship. It just like protects it.
Oh. No,
But
I
by
guess-
protecting it, it's really a last-ditch effort to like blow up the ship and everyone around it if something goes wrong.
I guess it's not that important then, huh?
Like we got rid of ours, and the ship still floated. So
For a bit.
for a
Still-
bit.
I can lend you Valerian's courage if you need to get to the like I said, get to the island. But any sort of intel, I would need time to get. I would have to venture to the Endless Pinnacle, talk to Echo, use the Eye of Kydron, and then report back, and that might take some time.
What
Well,
is
actually-
the Endless Pinnacle? Is it like a temple for Amarazi or something?
It was Amarazi's, I suppose still is. I don't know. Is Amarazi still on the material plane?
You don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. So it is or was Amarazi's lair when he was a normal dragon. It's a
Ah.
giant floating island with a big old mountain on top of it. It's where I gained enlightenment.
Yeah, cool. Maybe I want to visit that place sometime.
Yeah, Coin, you should go to get enlightened. Your steps that you were
Enlightened.
taking us through were a lot.
No,
more
we had a whole lesson on this
It
Yeah,
has
the
a
whole
very
lesson
nice
on-
view. Yeah.
on the third eye.
Yeah, I climbed the endless pinnacle, and I really gained perspective.
Doesn't sound very endless.
Wait, how do you start the climb if it's a giant floating mountain?
You have to get up to the floating island first.
Guess we could
Tati
teleport.
asks if your third eye is open.
Yes, it has been for some time.
She says, "Wow, your wallet must be really empty."
But yes, that's unfortunately I don't know much about the place you seek to venture, other than that it's a hive of scum and villainy, and most of the people there want me dead.
Well, they probably want us dead too. They just don't know as much about us.
Well, now I want them dead.
Be my guest. I won't stop you. In fact, I'll help you get there. I'll also provide whatever aid you may require. Unfortunately, I don't have much at the moment, but I can still lend you whatever help you need.
You have a nice bucket? Because I'm kind of in the market for a nice bucket right now.
Oh no, what happened to your bucket?
I don't want to talk about it.
Sorry.
It was found near an outhouse.
Oh, that
Let's
must have
just
been a
leave it.
severe loss.
Just leave it at that.
My condolences. Yes, there are in fact a glut of buckets in the city. Construction materials are pouring in every day from South Cove. So I'm sure you can find a nice bucket if you look.
I will help myself.
Actually,
free.
while we have you here,
Mhm.
we, in the not so far future, might be building a small town or maybe city of our own at some point. Do you have any interest in maybe setting up some sort of ongoing relationships between the two possible cities? Maybe even setting up teleportation circles connecting the two?
No, it depends on where you're actually going to place this city. It depends. If you're going to be, in Australia or your Vrix, I have very little interest in maintaining anything more than normal trade relations. But if you're going to be in the area of the Sea of Roses or Shu, then perhaps we can talk about further relations.
That's
He
fair enough.
says it's more like southeast of Estrella.
It's pretty far.
Yes, it
As
is.
far as a teleportation circle, I don't mind. And as far as trade goes, well, that's a private matter. I don't control any trade myself. Those are all private organizations.
Give me the right connection. I will handle the import-export between our communes.
Do you even know what you're going to be importing or exporting?
I know at least one thing we're going to be importing and exporting.
Okay.
What's that?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Corner Walker, I'm not going to...
Yeah, no,
They
we
make
gotta
you into it.
absolutely do this.
He's going to pull out like a two-fold size paper with just multiple... It's like a menu at a diner, but it's all corn. It's all just different types of corn with bugs on it.
Oh,
Fire ant
yes.
corn, garlic
your-
corn,
Your corn stand. That's right.
and popcorn. We're expanding to popcorn as well.
You're
that's
allowed
what-
to say no, it's okay.
That's the restaurant you wanted to set up here in Bourbon, if I remember correctly. Or
It was-
at least a stand, I think.
It was indeed only an idea at the time. We have since opened one in Nausea.
Oh,
but-
congratulations.
We are looking to expand. I
Well,
will keep
all
you
of you
updated.
are. Well, all of you except for Mr. Hermonos there are heroes of the city.
Venos.
Hermenos, my apologies. Are heroes of the city, so if you want to open up a corn stand here, I'm not going to stop you.
We're leaving.
No? This is my city. Why would I be leaving?
That's leave. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, leaving. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Is there
It's
anything
okay.
else?
My
I can
big
help you with?
idea is walk fast and talk faster.
Well, I think we'll take the loan of the ship, if you don't mind. Is there anything else people think we could ask for right now in terms of minor supplies or something? Again, the city's clearly
More
been
water
ravaged.
breathing implements. Maybe ring would be nice. But we got the potions, but it could be nice if we have a ring just in case.
What, a ring of swimming or a ring of water walking?
Well, can you water breathe with the ring? I don't know. Maybe.
I know there's a ring of swimming and a ring of water walking. Does the ring of swimming? Hold on, because she actually has a ring of swimming. Swimming. Let me look that up real fast. Does that let you breathe underwater?
I wouldn't think so. I
No,
think it
it-
just
it
gives you a
just-
swim speed,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it just gives you a swim speed. I know
We
there are
could use that.
I know there are potions that let you breathe underwater. In fact,
Don't
I
worry,
think
we have
actually,
like 15 of those. That's what
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
and-
those covered.
and there's a ring of swimming that lets you swim very fast, and then there's a ring of water walking that also lets you walk on water.
I mean,
I don't-
if you wouldn't mind loaning the ring of swimming, that actually might not be a bad thing. For
Wait, I
people
still
to
have
hold
my
up.
extra ring of swimming because I don't need it right now because I can swim just fine like this.
That's something Brad would use.
Yeah, although
Really
if Cruzid has one, we might be okay.
Well, who needs a ring of swimming?
Bryn. Remember how he was like drowning in the corner every time we were in the water?
That sounds miserable. Yeah, I can give him the ring.
Brent will
yeah,
take it and thank you. We'll wait for
Well, yeah,
Walker to see.
she actually she takes off her slipper and she has it as a toe ring and she takes it off, and she hands it over to you and yeah, I guess it resizes because it's a magic ring. I will actually mark that off her sheet. Where is it? I've had that since like level 8, by the way.
Oh, so I don't need to give away my ring.
Tati says maybe we should wash that before you put it on your hand.
If you think so.
Well, I mean, her. No, I trust you. I think your feet are very clean.
I am a monk. Is there anything else I can help
Wait,
you
whoa,
with?
whoa, 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 whoa,
Us
whoa,
monks and
whoa,
our
whoa,
clean
whoa.
feet.
What's with monks and clean feet? How does that work?
Handstands.
It's too complicated for me to explain, Eric.
I understand. Thank you.
Enlightened toes.
I will be like Elsa
Non-enlightened.
and let it go.
August, the non-enlightened, am I right?
Yeah, so she
Thanks, Corey.
she hands over. I'm sorry, it was a swimming or water walking that you wanted?
Swimming, because I think we might be going underwater.
Eric, who is the name of the lady who had the one boat?
The lady who had the one boat. That's surprisingly vague. Which boat are we talking about?
The one boat that I
the one boat.
basically
here.
I put her in charge of the one boat we had left.
Yeah, let me grab that real quick. I believe that was the Crimson Viper that we put in charge of that?
I don't remember because I remember she was giving me like the butcher's bill over everything.
Yeah, that was her. Oh no. You were talking to the ex-girlfriend of Cervantes. Let me grab her real quick because I forgot her name. One moment.
Well, no, there wasn't there like a girl who was like in charge of the docks or something like that, or who knew how to sail a boat.
She did.
Oh, okay. Well, if she wants to, we'll see if she wants to.
She'd be the one in charge of that. So yeah, all good.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, well, let me give you a bit of advice. If you do end up making that city of yours, remember the most important thing is to delegate. Finding trustworthy people is to do the tasks they need to do is the most important thing. If you want to take Valerian's courage to I'm sorry, what was the name of the island? Valheim?
Vehun.
Vainhoon. I'm sorry.
No N, just Vehun.
Vehun. If you want to take Valerian's courage to Vehun, please go speak to Crimson Viper. She leans over the desk and she writes a little note and then stamps it. just give this to her, and she'll take you wherever you need to go, or tell someone to take you wherever you need to go if she doesn't want to go herself.
Greatly appreciated. We'll be sure to get the ship back to you when we're finished. Hopefully, it won't be too long.
And the ring, please.
Of course, no worries.
Well,
we're hopeful it'll be a pretty short trip, to be honest. Just getting in, getting out, hoping to break one person out of the prison.
And
Who are
probably
you-
break a lot of other people in the process.
who are you seeking to release, might I ask?
I don't intend to be rude, but we're dealing with some delicate people who have ways of getting information from people, whether or not you realize they're enemies at times. Might be something I think we want to keep to ourselves.
We know a guy who knows a guy who knows a
Knows
guy
a guy? Yeah.
who may or may not know a guy.
She arches an eyebrow at that. Well, what my concern is that you'll be releasing one of my enemies.
Considering the people holding the island are keeping them prisoner, I sincerely doubt they're your enemy. If anything, it sounds like they'd be an ally of yours. And from what I know of them, it also seems like that as well.
They keep a lot of people prisoners. They're slavers.
Fair point. Fair point.
Yeah, they're not. They don't discriminate about who they imprison and enslave. It could be
So
good
that's
people. It could
very
be bad people.
progressive.
Well, I can promise you it's someone who's been trapped in there for a very long time, and as far as I'm aware, has no connection to you or any interest in particularly getting in your way. If anything, I think they'd probably be proud of what you did to the city, just by what we know. To be honest, we don't know them that well.
Well, my interests in the city go back a century.
I think
I was-
this
yeah,
person's
I was-
been locked up longer than that.
Oh, really? Fascinating.
Which, now that I'm saying it, I realize I don't technically know that, but I still think it.
So you just made that up then? Okay.
Maybe, it's possible. Just judging by
Fine.
stories, I think that's the case.
Fine. Keep your secrets. All right. Well, it was worth a shot.
I apologize. I do wish we could tell you, but we have to be a little careful right now in terms of people who are our allies maybe working against us without realizing it.
Oh, how did
Makes you feel better.
the
He didn't
the
tell
whole-
us either.
whole Sargeos thing go?
Well, dead as a door now.
We killed him.
Oh, is he dead?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. Was my intel useful about
Immensely.
the rainbow breath and all that nonsense he can do?
He says
Right.
yes.
Yeah, that's pretty helpful.
I'm glad.
Rainbow breath. He was stripping us of magic items. It was a mess.
Oh yes,
Not a good fight.
extremely
And also,
dangerous.
didn't you feel it when he died? Because didn't he like make a big pulse that turned off magic for everything? For a little bit.
Oh, so that's what that was. Yes, I did feel that.
Bryn says, yeah, we did defeat Sigeos, and actually the island blew up as a reaction. And that's actually where we're trying to set up a city. Is on the remnants of Sigeos' lair. So all in all, it went pretty well.
Good. So I should expect the frenzy trade to start slowing down at the very least.
Well, the source itself should be gone. I'm sure there's still some out there in circulation, but every time we encounter it, I intend to get rid of it still, just like I used to.
Oh, good. That should make the price go up.
What?
Yeah. Demand
I-
might remain, but supply will drop up over time, hopefully.
I still have several stores of the stuff from when he took over the city. I told you this. I would certainly stop participating in the trade after time, but I do need the money in order to build what I'm trying to build.
Yeah, I was hoping we'd have a chance to blow that up, but we didn't.
Yeah. I'm afraid that chance has flown. And I
Yeah,
would recommend
nice.
and I would recommend not touching my stores. Rest assured, I don't intend to sell them in Reston. I intend to distribute it amongst my enemies and get paid doing it. And like you said, if Sargeos is dead, price should go up.
I think this applies to many party members, but I don't think Bryn or Coin would be particularly happy to hear that we're doing business with someone doing it. But I don't think Bryn nor Coin would say anything of it.
Oh, yeah.
I think they'd understand.
Out of character, you've been very upfront about it, by the way. We totally knew this.
Yeah. She said it
Yeah,
back when she
100%.
first met you guys, and she said it now.
It's always fun with this character because we're always like, yeah, stop the slave trade, through things, and then you're just like really cold and callous and calculated. It's like, wait, hold up, what?
Yes, but yeah, thank you for
Doing
informing
the
me.
fifth most evil thing. That's 4 notches down. It's all right.
Yeah, just that information alone has made this discussion worth it. I can plan accordingly. It will definitely be a boon to rebuilding my city. And it certainly makes your borrowing of Valerian's courage worth it. Is there anything else I can help you with? Because like I said, I'm sorry, because Tati and Bryn are here, even though their players aren't here. So all 6 of you, and Saphira, if you manage to revive her.
7. There's 7 of them.
Hermenos.
Well, she's not including Hermenos because she doesn't know him and he didn't participate in the raid.
So we just discount Hermenos. Understood.
Yes. Yeah, she's never dealt with him before and he wasn't part of their deal. All 6 of you are heroes of the city, and I guess you can include a +1 if you want.
I'm sure we'll be back to it at some point. It's quite a city I'm sure you'll build it into.
Feels good to be heroic.
It does. I genuinely hope I will be able to turn this place into something as beautiful as it used to be.
You're talking about before the demons and not like the demon part, right?
Yes.
Okay, just making
It was
sure. It's really hard to tell with you sometimes.
It used to be beautiful, but I'm going to turn this into a city of flowers, a garden that will be the jewel of Reston. And
Yeah.
What kind of flowers?
all kinds. A
Nice.
place where anyone can bloom. She smiles.
Are you going to build a house of flowers?
She shrugs.
Okay.
Oshin, do you actually have any contacts back home about like stonework and contracts and stuff?
I do. I believe that Sweet August Rose and I had discussed it actually.
Yes.
Ah.
That offer is open if you wish to bring your family here. As you can clearly see, we need as many stonemasons as we can get. And I would be more than happy to accommodate you and your family.
I'll pass the message along.
She nods.
Oh, that's great.
Over to the Stonemason Union.
Well, if there's nothing else, I think we can let Rose go.
Tati
Yes,
will ask Sweet August Rose if we wanted to get a tour of the manor, who would we talk to?
The manor? She looks out the window at the pile of rubble.
Tati waits for an answer.
I suppose you could ask Anemone about it, but I mean, unless you want to turn into rats or cockroaches, I doubt you can fit in there.
We are
It might
very
be-
flexible.
Yeah, it's going to be rebuilt, but I mean, she gestures at the pile of rubble in the middle of the, because right now we're in a keep. The walls are mostly intact, but the actual middle keep part is completely demolished, and that's where everything used to be. So she gestures at it. Help yourselves, gentlemen. You can view anything you like. We tried recovering any sort of magical materials from it, but cleanup has been slow, unfortunately. Many of the necromancers died, and I'd be more than happy to use undead power to clean this place up, but most of them have left, unfortunately.
He says, I think ruins, like corpses, tell a story of what happened to someone after they died. And I think when I look at that pile of rubble, I see a story.
Oh, there's most certainly a story. I grew up there. And that castle this castle used to be called El Moro. It was the rock. But
It
it's
certainly
died.
looks like a lot of rocks, right?
It is a
now.
lot of
More
rocks.
like the pebbles, I guess.
Detritus, debris, the pebbles, yeah, all of those are fitting. Yeah, but she gestures at Toddy, but please feel free, Cleric of Imkale. Go look at that story. Anemone can tell you all about it. Well, not all about it. She can tell you about how it ended. I could tell you about how what it was like a century ago.
What was it like a century ago?
It was a very pleasant place. It was safe. It was the kind of place where the child of someone powerful could run around without any sort of fear of retaliation. It was my home. And I had a very happy childhood here. I used to watch my sister play the piano. I used to play, actually, not on the other side of that rubble there. I used to duel my brother, or pretend to duel anyways. He would humor me while he was training the soldiers. It was a very peaceful place. Hot summers, though.
Tati's deeply invested in the story. She says, well,
I mean, that's what it used to be, and of course, different things happened.
he says, I'm sure the children of today will enjoy dueling within the pile. Or playing hide and seek.
Well, it's
making
not
new
gonna
memories.
it's not gonna stay a pile. Change comes for everything, and I intend to change this place for the better. We will rebuild.
He says, that's a shame. I kind of like the pile. But I look forward to seeing what you do.
Is there anything else I can help you gentlemen with? And lady?
I think so. Chimes in Coin.
Tati is going to ask about a source of cheese in town. Why? Because Tati comes up with the weirdest questions.
Yeah.
Cheese. Unfortunately, I don't think we're doing very well on cheese stores. A lot of the preserved food has been being eaten due to instabilities in our. Let's just
Wait,
say
so
it.
that means it's an opportunity for the corn import.
I wouldn't say no to imports of food, especially if they're at a reasonable price.
Eh, coin?
I'm hearing dollar signs, Rosed. I think you're seeing a hole in the market.
Do
Not
you
a big
have...
cheese guy, but
Oh, I'm sorry, I got distracted. Cheese. As far as cheese goes, I think you can probably find some. If you search around, I know Chris has been setting up an entertainment area in the docks. She might have some cheese as sort of like a appetizer or something. But yeah, the city is being rebuilt. We are having all sorts of shortages. So you're gonna have to scrounge if you're gonna look for some good cheese.
well, you know what they say: the early rat gets the wheel.
I've never heard that expression before. I'm sorry.
Tati's going to
Tati
speak up and
says-
say something about it being a Grode saying.
Yeah. I actually think Tati heard that from one of her cousins.
Oh, did she hear from one of her cousins? What was her cousin's name?
A great question. Let me see if I can remember Ray's naming convention. It's her cousin Dimitri.
Dimitri. Understood. Her cousin Dimitri was a fan of cheese. Understood.
And rats.
And rats. Understood. Apparently he
Both.
played the pipe.
He's a multifaceted man.
He's a very, very talented person.
All right, cool. Well, thank you, Sweet Ice Rose, for dropping in and giving them as much information as possible. I hope that it proves helpful to them.
Try not to
Thanks
destroy
for
my
coming
ship.
by. Yeah, we have a great track record with that.
Who's it like raise one of his claws up for a little handshake and then realizes that this is not gonna work and puts his claw back down.
I mean, she's used to dealing with kobolds, so she'll shake your hand.
No, Ruzit isn't a kobold right now.
Oh, is he like? What is
He's
like?
a green dragon.
Oh, is he in his
he's-
dragon
he's-
form?
Yeah, I used my cloak before I came here.
Oh, so you're full. You wouldn't fit inside this building then. So presumably you're talking like
I-
through the window.
Oh, I asked Eric. I thought it was 10 feet tall. Okay, well, I guess I would
It's
have
10
stuck my
feet
head
tall.
through the window then at the alternative. But I would have been crouching if it was 10 feet tall.
It's 10 feet tall.
Okay, I've been
Yeah.
hunching, crouching,
It was
sitting
the door.
a little bit tight.
It's like
Okay,
having an
that's recording.
alligator in your living room, sir.
Yeah, really big alligator.
That's a pretty small dragon.
A, it's a small dragon, and B, it's a small alligator.
Small dragon in this case, yeah.
I could have sworn you
small
could get bigger
dragon.
than that.
Not a small
Phrasing.
dragon.
That's what she said.
Small relative to the
Okay, maybe
average
Ruzit's sticking
dragon
his head
size.
through the office door. I don't know at this point. He'll just stick up his head up near Sweet August Rose and just kind of nuzzle.
Yeah, she'll pat him on the snout.
Okay.
Good luck, Ruzid, Coin, Tati,
Yeah, you
Bryn.
rock.
Yeah, keep these others in line. You two are the intelligent ones, from what I can tell.
What do you mean? I'm full of great ideas.
Well, no. Oishin is
Bryn-
actually pretty smart, but he's the quiet type.
Bryn will thank Sweet August Rose for the help.
Cool.
Ruzit is
luck,
smart
gentlemen.
but horribly unwise.
Thanks for coming in. Have a wonderful night.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, cheers.
You.
All right, so you guys will leave and head back out where Sunkissed Anemone will greet you again. So, did you guys have a great time with her?
Yeah.
He says the rubble was lovely.
The rubble. You know,
Sight to behold.
yeah, right?
Never
It
really
rocks.
did get the full tour though.
No notes.
No notes. Hot damn. Well, so what's your plan?
We're gonna borrow your ship and go on a journey.
My
over to,
ship?
an island.
Oh, no. Nothing good ever happens on boats.
I mean, maybe it's not your ship. I'm just kind of associating you with Sweet August Rose, but it's. I guess it's her ship.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those Cervantes vessels. It's all cursed and everything. It's no fun. Anyway, tell you what, can you do me a favor? You guys look like you're from that northern area of Reston near Nausea, right?
Yeah.
Do you know a
You
guy named
profiling us?
Amer Shastina?
Oh, yeah.
We know of Amer.
Okay. If you happen to see him, tell him that I miss him. And that, I may have some news for him.
Good news or bad news?
She smiles, puts her hands on her hips. Well, for
I
him,
have no idea what the news could be.
good news. You have no idea. Nope. Thank goodness you don't, because we don't need to cover that. Just saying, Amer and Son have a history.
We'll let him
I
know,
was gonna
but
say, you
his
can let him know, but I have no idea what your name is.
Oh, her name is Sunkissed Anemone.
also I think his docket is pretty busy these days, so if we run into him, we'll try to let him know.
All right. Well, thank you. If you know anyone who's single and looking to mingle, remember me. I'm always out there. None of
Noted.
you like to drink, do you? And she dangles the 2 bottles of sake that she has available.
It's like fun to drink, but I don't remember the last time I've got drunk. Like it just does nothing to me. Like actually nothing.
Well, that's a shame. That's no fun.
It is what it is, I guess.
Right.
We're to bait fishing, but you're just throwing a net out there, and I kind of respect it.
Gotta
Yeah.
do what I can. Anyway, y'all
Oh,
have
you're not
fun.
married?
She looks at you.
I'm
What?
married to that MF and grind.
I thought you were gonna say you were married to Cash.
He couldn't afford me.
Oh.
Cash can't afford you. Money itself can't afford you. Understood.
To give you an idea of Coin's headspace, sense of self-worth.
Infinite.
That makes sense to me.
Yep.
All right. Well,
They say opposites attract, so what is a worse pair than yourself at that point?
that's true. Just saying. Well, Scott will go ahead and head on out, and she's going to go and try to find someone to spend the afternoon with. To say that she is promiscuous would be an understatement. So, what would you guys like to do? Is you've been told that you have access to a ship. You have the run of the town. You have some new intel. What's the plan?
I guess time to take that boat, right, guys? Or anything else you want to do here?
I think surveying the boat would be a good start. Know what we're working with.
I am sure there are other people who have information in town, but again, I just don't know if those are the people we actually want to speak with.
Tati says, I still think we should see around the the manor, what once was.
Okay. She's going to insist on going on a tour.
I'm going on a tour, exactly.
Okay. She's going to go and do a quick path around the tower, around the manor itself. There's over a mile of wall space here. You guys will take the better part of an hour doing this. You guys can see destroyed battlements, the remains of the central tower, where demons fell and people died. There's sections of wall that have been broken out, and down below you see the bones that have shattered of people who were thrown off the wall. It must have been an epic battle.
She goes, "Ooh, look! That pile of rocks looks kind of like a battle horse toppled over." Oh, and that over there, I think you can see the ballista. That one's still intact. Just making a game of it.
Yep.
Coin will oblige.
Cool.
But at some point, they will be ready to return to business.
Cool.
Do we know where this boat is? Coin chimes in. Tati says, it's probably on the water. That'd be the first place I'd check.
Makes sense to me.
Coin says, perfect. Let's go to water.
Understood.
There's the docks then.
So you guys head down the various city streets towards the docks. As you guys are headed towards the docks, you're able to find the dock section of the city, and you will find a ship. And I am missing the ship. One second, let me grab it real quick.
Did we know if the ship is vacant?
You know
Yeah.
that it is not.
Oh.
Be ready for an awkward conversation then.
Yeah, you were told that Crimson Viper is the one that's currently in charge of that. So, as you come to the docks, you're able to find the woman standing at the gangplank, and she admits the bill. She looks at
Tati
you.
says,
with
"Oh, I
reproach.
see the ship, but I only see the top half of it.
Why can't you see the ship? That's weird.
It's such a busy dock today. I can barely see past cruise liners."
What happened
There
there?
was literally only one ship in the dock coin.
I don't know what happened there. Let me get that
Like
fixed.
just looking at my butt, like what's going on here?
Why did that not work right?
Can't help it. You are blocking my entire POV right now.
Sounds like a you problem.
I just remembered I can jump 30 feet.
Why don't you do that instead of complaining about how you're looking at my rear end?
The woman
Tati
looks at
says,
you guys
"Actually,
as you come up.
I can't
So
see it
what
either."
do you want with my ship?
Well, Sweet August Rose told us that we could have the ship for a temporary amount of time.
Do you have
I'll
paperwork
pass
or
over
anything
the-
like that?
Yeah, I'll pass over the note that she wrote out and stamped.
The woman here is going to roll her eyes at you guys. And I've just gotten it up and running.
Hi, I'm Tati. You could stay on the ship if you want.
Yeah,
we could
I
use
mean,
a
if you want
crew.
to run it with us, yeah.
You want me to run the ship with you? Like a captain or something?
Well, no. Coin's the captain. And Saphira, but she's not here. But you could be, like a quartermaster. Coin says,
Quartermaster.
"Actually, I'm also the quartermaster."
Wait, what
Well-
are you?
Then you could be like the third thing.
The third
Point-
thing.
Coin's the quartermaster and the captain, but you could be like the third hand. It's a big responsibility.
I'm not going to go from being owner-operator to being the third hand.
Tati says, "Well, our last third hand got like a stone, so they could talk to us."
Well, aren't you still technically the owner, but like not the operator temporarily? I mean, if you're the owner, you got a stake in the ship. I mean, you're welcome to stay with us. We're not gonna boss you around and stuff, as long as you don't do
They
something
can be
stupid.
the operator too, as long as they operate it where we want it to go.
She looks at each of you in turn. Fine. I retain ownership of the ship. I take you where you want to go, and I drop you off. Fair?
I
Okay.
mean, we still need a way back.
Well,
I
it's-
mean,
but
we can
you-
take a little bit of the ship and teleport back.
I guess that's a good. Well, wasn't the last time we tried to teleport to a ship? Yeah.
But you're not stuffing us all on the same bed. We get some choice here on where we.
Okay,
Where
well,
our
you're definitely not
quarters are.
stuffing us all in the same bed because I literally don't fit. First of all.
For a multitude of reasons.
the ship's
we will
recently
be-
been renovated. The slaving quarters have been changed to bed quarters and barracks.
Gonna put us in the barracks.
Fine.
I guess a deal's a deal.
All aboard. Where are we going?
Oh, we're just gonna walk around the ship. I don't think
We're
we're.
doing a quick look over. We're not leaving quite yet.
Very well. So she's going to let you guys roam the ship.
Tati says, "Where would you want to go if we left?"
She looks at Tati. Is Tati being flirtatious here or not?
I don't think I'm in a position to say that. I think she's just genuinely curious
Legitimate.
of where this person was expecting to voyage to before we showed up and claimed call on the ship.
I was going to go and visit the Protectorate and try to make peace with them. Miss Rose wants to make sure that negotiations go smoothly.
Yeah, I guess you guys are still technically in like a state of conflict, even though leadership's changed. I guess amends haven't been made yet.
Right. It's not like you erase centuries of evil simply in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, there's a lot of work to do here for sure.
Right. So, when I drop you off, I'll probably continue my voyage north.
You're not going to give us a ride back, Tati says?
Do you need one?
That's a good question.
Can we just teleport back? As long as we're not too
How long
wasteful
do you
with
want
our
me to
magic?
wait?
Well, okay. Tati will say, I think we should do a group huddle. 1 minute, please. We're going to just talk about this. Yeah, I mean, I guess we don't necessarily need a ride back because we can teleport out. But we're picking someone up. Are we going to be able to beeline from the prison to our next destination, or are we going to need to pull him out to just like a city like Bourbon just to breathe? I think that's kind of where the question is.
Make sure to have some sort of thing that lets us teleport here freely.
Are we planning on going in the morning, or what time?
I think Bryn would probably say, how about we get something so we can teleport to this ship. We make a deal with her. You can go to your next voyage, but if we teleport back, you have to adjust your plans to accommodate us. Or to at least let us
Could we,
be on the ship, you know?
depending on how far it is, if we're going out in the morning, we could get there and then just tell her that she can leave at whatever time it would take her to get back here by nightfall. Like that would presumably give us like a couple hours there.
Yeah, I think Bryn would concur that she doesn't need to wait around for us, especially because we don't know how long we'll be out. But we do still want to have access to this ship in case of emergency.
That's fine.
I think Bryn will pop his head up. He'll repeat everything. He'll say, "You can have the ship after we're done with it. I think you should let us return to it and be ready to, if you need to U-turn, allow us to do that. Otherwise, you're clear to drop us off and leave."
That's fine.
Wonderful. And then Bryn says, "All right, I'm gonna go check out the barracks."
Okay.
Oh,
So-
check out the kitchen too.
You guys are
won't.
able to go and explore the ship.
Yeah, we'll just get familiarized.
The name on the end on the side of the ship is Valerian's Courage.
I think Tati would probably slip away to look at the stone, if possible, or at least to like go to where the door to the entrance of it is.
The Baylor Stone? Right.
Yeah, because she has interacted with a Baylor Stone before. She knows
Indeed.
how it works. I think she'd be comfortable and curious enough
Yep.
to make sure that there aren't people on it.
So, are we going to have her phase through the wall to check?
I mean, is the door locked?
It is locked, yes.
I feel like we shouldn't send her in without a protection from good and evil, just because we know that thing can possess people.
I don't necessarily think she would go in on her own without conferring to the party. I do think she would still check the door. She'll return to the party and tell everyone. Well, good news, they have locked the door to the Baylor Stone, so not anyone can get in there. Bad news, we don't have the key.
What if there's like a skeleton in there?
That'd be cool and bad.
Okay. So you're asking Crimson Viper for the key? that what I heard?
Yes,
Okay.
Tati is.
Tachi is.
I wasn't necessarily saying we need to get it, but I think Tati would bring it up.
Well, Sweet August Rose says I'm supposed to give you access to whatever you want. That's what it says on the note. She looks bitter about it, but will hand the key over to Tati.
Does that include the kitchen? Can we get anything we want from the kitchen?
She nods.
Amazing. I think she'll pocket the keys for now. Might even just toss him a coin, knowing that he tends to hoard keys. So I'll put it on coins first. And I'm not in a rush to check on the Baylor Stone. I do think verifying that there aren't people on it, since Sweet August Rose wasn't super explicit in saying that it had been checked and cleared.
Right. Oh, Crimson Viper, if asked, will tell you that she has not checked it.
I think Bryn would be compelled to make sure no one is on it
Okay.
when he returns from the barracks.
Cool.
I think Bryn is smart enough to work with Tati
I
to
think
check
that's
it
legitimate.
safely.
I think that's legitimate. With enough preparations and bardic inspirations and guidances and assistance, etc., Tati will be able to just look inside and check to see if the Baylor Stone has anyone currently attached to it, and it does not.
Wonderful. This news will be relayed to the party.
Very well.
Some will sigh of relief, others will wonder why we checked it at all.
Why would Coin have a reaction to this? What would Coin's reaction to this be?
Like, did you see a desk while you were down there?
No.
Well, this is not good news for me then, because I cannot find one anywhere.
There would be one in the captain's quarters.
Of course, there would be.
Well, aren't you the self-proclaimed captain now?
Oh, I'm gonna check the key ring we just got. Maybe I can just find my way in.
You can.
Let's see. I almost want to roll for how much. Coin has some respect for another captain. I think his like his honor code would supersede his ego and desire for a desk here, and I don't think he would break into the existing captain's quarters, at least without them knowing.
Okay. Is it really breaking in if you have the keys?
No, it's not. But he is a monk, and I think he can discern the difference of, like, this is still kind of a dick move.
That's valid. I love the fact that there was a scoff of derision there.
I think at worst, Coin would crack the door just to see the desk.
Yep, it's
Out
a
of,
very
like-
nice one. It's a big pedestal desk with a roll top. It's got
Yeah.
charts all over it at the moment with navigation tools. It almost makes you drool, Coin.
Man, that's a nice one. Yeah, it's like he would never joyride someone's nice car, but he's still gonna, put his head on the window and look at the
It's
The
got
interior.
cup holders, Coin.
Man, we should have bargained a lot harder. I'm sleeping in the barracks. I'll close the door and
All right.
go find a crow's nest until the party is rendezvousing for the next plans.
Cool. All right. What's Hermenos doing during this time?
Just inspecting the ship, making sure it's fully seaworthy, the sails are in good shape, Everything's working.
It's impeccable. Crimson Viper has set this place up to be a bastion of Bourbon. This is currently the flagship of Sweet August Rose's fleet, considering it is the only
only
ship in her fleet. So they're trying to make it look as good as possible, as intimidating as possible, because they want to make sure that they present well to anyone on the seas.
And once I complete my inspection, I will look at Crimson Viper and just give her a nod.
Okay? She looks at you. So what's your story? And I'm going to roll a history check for her because we want to see if she knows anything about you. With a 21, does she know anything about you, Hermenos, with your reputation and your history with Saphira? And if so, what does she know?
I think she would know that Hermenos is a career pirate, that he's sailed with various crews. If she knows of Sapira, she might know that they sailed together. And that I don't know how much she would know about what he's been up to recently, but would definitely know of his reputation and several of the ships he's served on.
What would his reputation be from her perspective?
I'd say brutal, efficient,
Okay.
loyal.
Do you have a list of 2 or 3 of the ship names that he's been a part of?
Yep, well, definitely the Devil of the Deep Dark Ocean.
Uh-huh.
Let me think of a couple of others.
Okay. Cool. She's going to
Let's
come
go-
up to you.
Let's go with.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say, let's go with the Devil's Rose.
Okay. The Devil's Rose and the Devil of the Deep Dark Ocean.
Yep.
Love those.
I guess let's just stick with that theme. And then the third one can be the Diabolic.
All right. All 3 of these ships, Hermenos, would have been under the same captain. So we'll just establish that lore for later. Cool?
All right.
They would have been part
And
of
then if
a small fleet.
If it was all the same captain, then it would have had to be Inavari's crew.
Correct. She's going to come up to you, and she's got this guarded stance as she comes up. So, you're a Menos, and you're working with these entrepreneurs, huh? Do they know?
They know enough.
Know enough, huh? Look. I don't want you stealing this ship. If you try to drive a mutiny, I'll kill you. Any questions?
No questions. I'm trying to retire.
Trying to retire? You know that nobody on your crew ever retires. They die.
Rules are made to be broken.
She smiles broadly at that. Indeed. To a point. The rule about the mutiny is not to be broken. Break that one, I'll break your neck. Are we understood?
I've had worse.
I'll make sure you don't. So, what is your
He smiles
plan
at that, almost
here?
as if he's taking it as a challenge.
So, what is your plan with these people? Are you seeking the treasure so you can finally retire on the wealth that she left behind somewhere?
Not so much. I have enough squirreled away for a comfortable life.
So why go adventuring?
But Saphira needs help.
Are you to an item?
I am not her type.
Really? The pirate princess has a type. That's not what I heard. I heard that
You would
every
be more her
bar and tavern from here to Shalosh and all the way to Garden Soil and Shatter Shaddai were her prowling grounds. I heard that if it's got 2 legs or more, it's fair game. Sometimes 1 leg and a peg would do.
I do recall a story that she told of someone named Peg. Now I wonder if that was her name or just what she called her.
She smiles wickedly. Maybe both. So, where are we going exactly? You do realize instantly she is going to try to milk you for information about where you guys are going and what you're doing.
You will need to know.
If we're going to get there
Vehan.
accurately, yes. Vehan! Oh, great. We're going to go where everybody we don't want to see went. So I'm going to be out of dinghy, and then you're going to be gone. I can handle that. I can replace a dinghy.
And Sweet August Rose will gain the favor of several powerful individuals.
Hopefully. She needs all the
Assuming we don't
friends
get
she
all
can
get
get.
ourselves killed.
Sweet August Rose needs as much help as she can get, as many friends as she can have. Holding this city is going to be a challenge. You know, she's been killing her opposition in town.
Of course, what else would she do with it?
What else? Offer them amnesty in exchange for service.
And invite treason?
That's what she's doing. If they accept, their lives are spared. If they deny and reject her offer, they're killed on the spot. You know the type, don't you, Hermenos?
Of course.
The
Surprised she
devil
would give them the opportunity, but after all, those who don't fall in line should be made an example of.
I agree. So be sure you fall in line.
I have no interest in your city's politics.
I'm not talking about the city. I'm talking about my ship. Know your role
Such a
and
good
stay
ship.
there. She's going to turn. By the way, If you have any of those hard candies on a stick, bring them to the captain's quarters. I always liked a lollipop. And she walks away. The inspection of the ship goes well. The ship is ready to go. There's not much else that has to happen to get you guys ready to sail. Is there anything you'd like to do here in Bourbon?
Do we
See if
need
there
things
is
for
a hand-
disguises?
I don't think we do.
Are you sure? I feel like me just showing up like this might cause some stirs in terms of they're probably not the most welcoming for paladins in general.
I mean,
Or
why
we
are we
do.
doing disguises? How are you gonna disguise
Oh.
me?
Are we really just gonna go in and try and flex on them and walk right through?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think that's ever gone wrong.
Has it ever gone right?
What is the scenario where we don't get into combat? We show up all in disguises. We find this prisoner. Well, we just meet him. Do they do
So the question
visitation?
is- the question becomes, when does combat happen and on what scale? If we show up large and try and threaten people, again, the whole city might rally against us. If we are stealthy, try and sneak into the prison, fight people in there, and then break out and run for it, that could be easier. On the other hand, listen, if we want to fight our way there, it might be more effort. We might be able to do it, but we should be ready to run just in case, because keep in mind, it is a full city.
I think invisibility would be a stronger call than disguise. That said, I think for you particularly, as a paladin, you do stand out more. Find a fake mustache.
Or maybe
You
I
dye
fit
your
in. I
hair.
don't know. Are there a bunch of evil dragons there?
Have you ever thought about switching seasons and maybe people wouldn't recognize you?
I'm gonna be honest, I think there's a few other things that'll stand out, but I'd prefer to stay on this one. It's just been to keep people safe for.
Not a lot of grungs or grodes in the history book, so I think I'm fine.
I think all the Groves are in the history books now.
They're not, though. That's like the whole thing. No one remembers them.
Well, I just meant that you're the only one left.
They'll be in my history books. You're right about that.
There's a question about Grode culture. Do they have history books, or is it an oral tradition?
It was an oral tradition. I think they did have, like, physical records, but it was a very impermanent one.
Very well.
You know, they'd carve it into the side of a log and then use the log for kindling.
Understood.
Like, very utilitarian.
Cool.
Very, like, transcendental written language, I would say.
Sure. It's a fun aspect of that culture.
And a very real one.
Very real. Way too many artifacts over the eons has been lost to necessity.
It's not right.
So what's the plan, guys?
Now, what kind of shop would be useful for keeping a paladin low profile? We could go just get like a really big drape, throw it over.
Are we not gonna try
Yeah.
the invisibility plan for everyone?
I'm down
Can
for
we
it.
get invisibility
How
on
long?
everyone?
What's the duration
So
at our disposal?
I can cast it and it can last up to an hour, and I think that I can cast it on most of us. But I can't cast greater invisibility like that. I can only cast.
For what it's worth, you don't need to cast it on me because of empty body. Although it
I mean,
depends
that only
on how
lasts a
long.
minute. That's probably not going to be long enough.
Yeah, but I can effectively burn down to 20 minutes, and if we get a short rest, I just mean like in a pinch, I can get by. But
Yeah,
if we're
probably.
Yeah.
if we're going around for 2 hours, I will need a short rest though. Yeah.
I also think invisibility in small spurts to get us to like safe-ish places that we can hide is not a terrible idea. So I'm happy to go with the invisibility plan. That would probably get us pretty far. I don't know if Bryn has access to any, but that's possible as well. Because he could probably make it last longer with his metamagics.
It lasts an hour. Do we need much more than that?
Honestly, probably not. That does seem like a lot of time. And
Well,
it goes away when we
but-
start doing anything.
Might need another to get out.
Well, you'd have to re-up at that point because 2 hours isn't going to last. Assuming we get down there, I think some fighting or something is likely to happen.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying once we get this guy, if we need to extract him, best call might just be to pop a second invis and then re-stealth our way out.
Now, there is a world where we could think about just sending in a very small task force to try and get information or get him out of the prison. I'm thinking, honestly, maybe just Tati at this point. I normally would have thought maybe Saphira too, but she's kind of out of action. But Tati can walk through walls and be incredibly stealthy. There's a chance she could just get in for either get information or get him out as well.
Yeah, I would argue sending a teleporter. Like, you could probably send Bryn too, because one, he can send a message if things go south, and two, he can. What is it? Dimension door. He has a few ways to probably hit the trail, so to speak.
That's fair. At that point, it might be better to send Oshin if Oshin's willing.
Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah, but I don't know message or dimension door. I can only teleport.
Well, we don't know how
I mean,
deep it is, so there's a chance teleport would be better.
In a best case scenario,
No,
you're not
that's
going to
fine.
need
I
either.
just wouldn't
It's
be
sh-
able to let you guys know what's going on.
Fair.
Yeah, but I mean, Bryn could just put up the Discord server prior to the mission, and then you can just
Yeah, that's
contact
true,
us
yeah.
that way. So effectively, you can.
I'm happy doing it that way, but I guess doing the reverse as well. That if I cast invisibility on, say, Bryn and Tati before they go in, Bryn with sorcery points can subtle spell cast, so he wouldn't. I think that allows you to maintain invisibility, or does it?
No,
not?
it's just casting spells breaks it. It's not casting it in a loud way.
Here's what I
Okay.
think. I think it would be really funny for us to send in the two party members not here, and then we all collectively have to manage them.
It's a little messed up, but it's really funny. Especially because
Really
it's like plausibly just the right decision.
It is, but I'm ultimately whatever seems logical. I'm down with.
Let me just look at Dimension Door to make sure it works.
Are we gonna have to go back to the potion place and get stealth? I think we're gonna have to go pick up invisibility potions, unless we can cast it.
I can cast it, and I can cast it more than once over the whole party.
Okay.
Do you have to?
Um,
Can you cast on multiple people at the same time, or do you have to have only 2 people under it?
Yeah, no.
Concentration.
So that's what I was trying to say. Is it greater invisibility? It doesn't do it when I upcast it, but regular invisibility when I upcast targets additional people.
Got it.
So I can upcast it and cover the whole party.
Well, I mean, I think sending Bryn's down is not a bad idea. Tati is also just the obvious choice because she's actually very good with this. I'm happy to do the 2 of them. I'm happy to do just one of them. I'm also happy to get closer to the city, and maybe we should get there first. Try and set up a base. We actually need to figure out where the prison is as well. So maybe we should get there and try and set up some sort of base of operations. and then send them in, because either way we want to be close by. And if the plan changes in the meantime, we can always go loud.
I think that sounds like a good idea. Regardless, I say that we probably wait till the morning or something to head out, though. Just if we're gonna use like invisibility or teleport or stuff, because my higher level spell slots are gone from teleporting around.
Eric, how long is the boat ride?
It's going to take you guys 2 days to get there.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy to
That's
just get started on that. I agree with your thought, but yeah, since it'll just be on the boat, we might as well get started. All right, last call. Anyone want to pick anything up here?
I'm good.
Perfect.
Nope.
Let's do it. Let's set sail, I guess. 2-day trip.
All right, cool. So you guys will sail away.
99 coins of cob on the wall, 99 coins of cob. Take one down, pass it around, 98 cobs of corn on the wall.
Are you gonna do that for the whole 2 days, or just like once through?
98 corns of cob on the wall, 98 corns of cob. Coin and Tati.
Horns of cob or cobs of corn?
Weirdly, he keeps switching back and forth every other line, and you can't tell.
Oh, Shane, use silence.
I think at least one day will be spent, and he will actually. Coin is gonna call Ruzit over to the side of the ship. He's got a bag of rocks with him. And he just sort of gives you like a side eye. And a 3 counter. And he goes, 3, 2, 1, go! And he skips the rock
Goes one of the rocks.
4 times.
I cannot roll a dice right now. So I'm grabbing something. I'm not my
You're on like a. I mean, I can roll it for you if you want. It's like a
Do it.
1d10.
Yeah.
Damn.
So Ruzin skipped it 8 times.
It hits an 8.
And I'm just better. What's new?
You kind of tied. That doesn't count. As if that's how rocks
Tiebreakers
work.
go to the tiebreakers go to the bigger person, which is me.
Hold on, I'm gonna find 2 rocks that are evenly flat, and we're gonna go again. Spends like 20 minutes. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go! Coin rolls a 7. Ruzid rolls a 6.
Coin is pleased with himself.
Just a little bit better.
The rock, I think the rock did me a favor there.
Sure you didn't use some magic BS? Is Bryn not screwing with the rock? Ruzit looks around.
That's a good idea. I should have done that. But no, Bryn is downstairs. Tati will skip 1, 2. It'll go twice. And 5 times.
Sure.
This is the pinnacle of player actions during downtime.
Mm-hmm. Rin is cooking
Hey,
all
Rin,
damn day.
gameplay. Let's go.
Awesome.
Bonk.
Anything you guys want to do during 2 days aboard the ship on the way to Vehan?
Yeah, at some point, Coin is going to tie a rope around his waist, and he's just going to jump off the back of the boat, and he's just going to sort of coast behind it.
Just gonna ski
The
behind
water.
the boat
Yeah,
on his feet? Understood.
and
It's-
he's a monk, so he's not.
Yeah.
He has a grip on that thing. He's not going to let go.
It's a bit of a jerky ride, because that's the nature of things. But
Of course.
you're able to be dragged along behind the boat.
Have the fun.
Cool.
I want to do a performance check to see if Coin can do like a flip, like he's getting pulled behind the
Sure.
ship.
Let's find out.
I know it's not a
This would be
speedboat.
acrobatics or athletics, your choice, to do a flip.
I would say it's more acrobatics here, just especially landing back on the water.
Easily.
Hell yeah. Coin's following them behind the boat, just doing tricks,
Cool. Hermenos,
kicking on the water.
what are you doing for 2 days?
I'm going to other than that one thing, I'm going to mostly focus on assisting with navigation and making sure that all operations are smooth.
Okay. Cool. So,
And also following the no mutinies rule.
understood. So, Coin, as you're being dragged behind the boat, a rock is going to start doing circles around you. Bing, 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 bing.
He's impressed and caught off guard. Is this clearly not related to my party or nor the boat?
Roll a perception check.
Shall.
The
The 31 in it?
With a 31, you look over and you see Hermenos on the back of the boat telekinetically controlling a rock. He's trying to hide from you. Do you call him out or not?
No, I think Coin's going to try to catch it like a cat to a red dot.
Okay.
He's trying to swipe it with his foot. He's trying to catch it, really,
Sure.
with his webbed foot.
Awesome. Let's
Which
get
I
you
guess
both to roll 1d20.
Yeah. How is it? It changed spin. Coin's gonna keep slapping at the water, and he's gonna get so invested in it, he actually lets go of the rope at some point, and he starts slogging behind the ship. And he has the like full butterfly swim all the way back to the boat.
Butterfly swim
You almost had it.
sucks.
It sucks. It does. The
I've
arms
been on
hurt.
swim team. Butterfly swimming is not the fastest swimming. Just saying.
Same, brother. But he's his rock got him tripped out. He ain't doing the freestyle.
All right.
You'll have to be quicker than that.
Guess so.
This is where you call him Grasshopper. For those who are kung fu fans, that is funny.
I eat grasshoppers for
After
breakfast.
you eat grasshoppers? Sorry. Anyway, you
I
guys,
think a grasshopper would taste good. Like
they're not
compared
that
to the
bad.
average bug.
Like they're not that bad, honestly. Especially with a little bit of chocolate.
I've legitimately, it's like a bright green. I know I shouldn't eat one, but like, probably a better tasting insect. I'm sorry, I'm going on a tangent here. Continue, please.
As someone who has legitimately tasted a grasshopper, they're not that bad. All
Probably
right.
crunchy.
It's the legs that are the issue. They get in your teeth.
Oh yeah, wiry.
All right. Well, you guys, after 2 days, will arrive at the Isle of Vehan, seeing it in the distance. Is there anything you'd like to do before arriving?
No.
So obviously the
particularly.
dinghy's not going to be working for me. So like, what do we want to do here? I mean, I could do like, a whole submarine approach because I can just breathe underwater and I'm perfectly comfortable swimming for the rest of the way.
I can fly over with my Pegasus, but invisibility might be a good idea for that.
We also have the carpets. Push comes to shove. Or
I
main
feel like if we start flying over the city unannounced, we might get shot down.
Well,
Why
that's
low?
my invisibility.
Well, do we want to have like a predetermined meeting point if I'm going to swim underwater?
What can you see underwater?
That is a great question. I don't even know the answer to that.
Like, how good can you navigate to the shore?
I would
Sure, like-
assume that Ruzid as an adult green dragon is probably pretty capable of that, like considering that that species of dragon is amphibious. But I don't.
You don't get to see very far around Vehan. The water here is not exactly super clear, but 20 feet of vision is pretty good out in the ocean.
Yeah.
If Hermanos does not have one of the magic carpets at this point, should be given one if needed or desired.
Okay.
There might be an extra, but somebody else can fit on mine with me as well.
I mean, I'm good to swim.
Cool.
I'll race Ruzid.
Saison, are you going to invisibly fly a Pegasus into this town?
That is the plan. To be clear, any spell that targets me will also target my Pegasus while riding it, if I so choose, so we'll both be invisible.
All right. How is Tati getting ashore?
I think Tati is gonna go up to Hermanos. Because Hermanos should have the Goldilocks carpet, the middle-sized one. And she'll say, "Can I ride with you?"
Hey.
She'll hop on the
Okay.
whatever space is available on the carpet.
Cool. She's flying space available. Understood.
I think I think she would ride Ruzid underwater if the logistics of it weren't so complicated.
Right.
So it is equally intriguing to her to ride with Hermanos and see how he handles it. Because I
Awesome.
think at this point she's been on a magic carpet doing tricks with everyone in the party. So she would be curious, like, can Hermanos do a barrel roll? An aileron roll? We'll find
I've
out.
never ridden one of these before.
Oh, it's super easy. You just say the magic word.
Which is?
I don't remember.
Oh.
She says, the magic word for this one, great question.
Wait, Hermanos will step onto the carpet before a magic word is said.
Hold on. Bryn should be around here somewhere. Bryn knows a
Hi,
lot of
I'm here.
things.
I'm here. I'm sorry. I was doing
Bryn.
dishes.
What is the
Sorry.
magic word for this one?
I think it was Flibberty Gibbet.
I don't think it would go up.
I don't
Is this
know.
one? I'm gonna try something. Baba Booey.
Bryn casts a spell.
No, not what I was trying.
Coin, you appear 200 feet away over the ocean.
Well, I just lost my lead on Ruzid! He dives back into the water.
Slowpoke.
I unironically do think Baba Booey was a trigger for one of these carpets.
Baba Booey
it
was
was
the
not.
trigger word for Vortex Warp whenever you guys called for it.
No, it was originally for
Yeah.
Vortex Warp. I just recall it being reused as well.
I don't remember that, but okay.
I have all of the 3 triggers pulled up, and none of those were that.
Damn.
What were the
Wow.
3 trigger words, please?
So there was Avast for the large one, Ink for the medium one, and Rochambeau for the small one.
Oh, yeah. I thought pink was the large one because that's what Crystal would use. But
Possible that they could have switched around. I just had that's what I had in my notes at least.
well, it does make sense because all the carpets can handle a pretty sufficient weight. Well, that's good to know. The question is, diegetically, how would Chati and Hermanos find that one out? I guess you could just
Manos
call
have
it.
absolutely no idea.
Yeah, yeah. I guess how about I roll a history check off Tati and see
Sure.
if she can just recall it.
Let's roll a
He has like a
d20.
plus a million history checks. She knows.
She automatically knows all about the carpet.
Says, all right, I got this one. Avast.
Hermenos, she said avast without enough feeling. The carpet results in flying, but it wasn't done well.
She was so excited about remembering the word, she forgot about the actual procedure of saying it.
I didn't mean to whisper that, so let me try this again. Avast!
As your voice echoes and booms across the ocean, you'll see several windows in the town closing.
Yeah.
We may be noticed.
I think Bryn will unfurl the smallest carpet, which Tati would have given him prior to jumping on with Hermanos. Just so we can retroactively establish how Bryn is going to follow.
Sure.
I also think Bryn would set up the telepathic bond before everyone
Absolutely.
goes
He would.
separates.
Yeah. Ditto. And he will say Rochambeau to a ship with no one on it. And he will take off as the back line.
Awesome.
Ruzid looks up out of the water. So are we swimming or are we not swimming?
Coin is full throttle. He's
What's
treating
this-
this as a race. Whether or not you are, he is like,
Wait,
I
so
gotta
is
be
Coin on
rigid.
a carpet though, or is he swimming at this
Coin
point?
is
think he's-
swimming.
Is he swimming or is he
Okay,
doing the
fine.
Jesus lizard across the surface?
No, he's not cheating. He's gonna swim.
Okay.
But he got teleported back by Bryn, and now he is diving back in and swimming again.
Okay.
No swimming time.
So those of you who are flying, which is everyone except for Rooted and Coin, you guys can alight on the shoreline or in the city. Meanwhile, Coin and Rooted, who are the swimmers, you guys come up to the rocks. What do you want to do?
I would like to come up onto the rocks.
Easy enough.
I mean, he'll wait to find Ruzid because I don't sure they pop up on two different rocks.
Yep.
Yes.
Ruzid's gonna get
Go on
up
the
and
race.
kind of like shake off all the water like a dog.
Yes, because
Got a lot of-
scales retain so much water.
Yeah.
Got a lot of kelp on you.
Where?
Like on your tails.
It flicks his
Stuck-
tail
stuck
back
between
and
his
forth a
scales.
bunch.
One of the kelp tendrils with the little bubbles on it goes flying at Coin, wraps around his face.
You got it. Wipes it up.
I got you.
That's a good question. Who did win the race? What is your top swim
Mine
speed?
totally won because mine top swim speed's 40 feet. It's not insane, but it's good. But mine has like super speed.
Yeah. He's got 65. It might be like 50 for swim, but either way. It's also half your size, so.
Yep.
Hydrodynamic. He'll gloat for a little bit, and then he will say, we should probably find our friends.
So you done? You done talking shit?
Almost. One more thing.
Oh, okay. Continue.
Skips a rock. Okay, now I'm done.
Great.
Great.
So you guys can make your way into Vehan. Meeting up with the rest of your party is not hard because you can see the flying people on flying carpets arriving.
Is there like a gate, or are we just there's let in?
There is a gate, but it is open.
Okay, I assume we're like all gathering up at the gate.
The guards
I think
here
I-
will look at you guys as you approach.
Rule 1 of stealth, don't show up to the front door not invisible. But yes, we are right outside the gate.
The guard that greets you at the gate stands tall and blonde. Her sword looks pretty mean. She looks like this. What's your business here? What's with the Cervantes vessel? And who are you?
Coin insight check on whether this is someone you need. I think I already know, but like, should I just avoid telling this person anything? Will my life be easier if they just don't know?
With a 23, they're probably going to push the issue. You gotta say something. Someone has to, anyway.
We're refugees.
Refugees.
Yeah.
Don't look fiendish.
Well, refugees from a Cervantes ship that controlled us. Long story short, a mutiny occurred, and now we just hitched it to the nearest land.
Please roll your deception check, Seatoad Coin.
Okay.
My favorite number.
Like Riz is looking at Coin while he's saying his story, like, and it makes this sort of face, like, "Are you serious? Like, how is this ever gonna work?"
She accepts it. Welcome to Vehan.
All considered, I think that's a pretty decent on-the-fly cover story.
Well, it would have worked great for a little grung, but not so great for a big green dragon. That makes no sense.
That would
at all.
raise a lot more questions.
She looks at you as a dragon. Do you speak, worm?
Riz says very gingerly, "Yes."
Don't attack the town. We aren't going to have chaos here. There's enough crime that goes on inside this city. We don't need a dragon attack to rile up a riot.
I'm not feral. I can control myself.
She narrows
I
her
like
eyes.
how the concern is not out of well-being, but out of inconvenience. Like, a dragon attack would be really inconvenient right now, so I need you to.
pay grade. Like,
I just need you to not do that.
I
Yeah,
don't get paid overtime.
it'd be a pain in the ass to have to deal with a riot after a dragon attack. Because they kill the dragon, then everyone's going to want to loot it. It's just going to be a ton of paperwork and a pain in the butt.
I don't want to get killed or looted, so let's just not.
Good.
I will tell the group telepathically. By the way, if anyone asks, we are refugees who mutinized.
Mutinized?
Somehow.
Is that a term?
Mutinied.
Yes, mutinied is the correct term.
Mutinized, like unionized. I'd argue it's interchangeable.
Use it as in a telepathic bond. Somehow he convinced the guard of that. I have no idea how.
I almost convinced myself.
I'll just roll with it.
So, you are allowed into the city of Vehan. You have no idea where you're going. You have no concept of what lies here. What would you like to do?
Okay, step 1 is done. Step 1A. Now we have to find the prison, right?
Yeah. Where is that? Probably shouldn't be flying up to scout. That seems like really not a good idea. Maybe someone who's smaller should do that.
I mean, I assume I'm kind of still in the air because I'm invisible and on the Pegasus, so I can look around, but do I see anything that seems heavily guarded or might be the entrance to a prison, especially an underground/underwater one?
Roll a perception check, please.
Great.
Cool. With the 13, Sason, you see this. I'm only showing you this because you're the only one who gets to see this. But you see this in the distance.
Sure. Yeah, there is a large Cinderella-looking castle in the distance.
Yeah.
Non-zero chance that the prison's underneath the castle or something like that, or people there would know. But on the other hand, that's going to be a pain to get into.
Let's walk our way closer. I can maybe poke my head in a window.
We should. I feel like we should set up some sort of base. We need to find somewhere safe for people to hang out. I don't know where we can find that around here, though. I think the people who are visible are going to have to work on that.
Coin's gonna empty body,
Okay.
and
He turns
he's going.
invisible.
He's gonna do two things. He's gonna empty body, and then he's gonna use his monk super speed. You know, he's kind of Batmaning across roofs here.
Okay.
Stealthily, I'll add, so maybe not.
Point source to run away. Ruse said telepathically. So what do you want me to do? Because it's gonna be kind of hard for me to follow you.
Bryn's going to come near you to act as diversion from you being dragon hunted here in town.
Coin's gonna
Yeah,
say,
kind of a bad look if I'm just by myself.
Yep. Tati would join Bryn in becoming almost a circus performance. They're going to exhibit you.
before that, on the way
Go ahead.
here, I
Go ahead.
kind of wanted to. I think while flying over here and while we're kind of flying around the outskirts of town, Tati would ask Hermanos, like, how do you drive? How do you drive the carpet? You take it like tight around corners. You do tricks with it. Like, how does Hermanos handle?
I head directly to the destination.
Efficient. We're gonna get there so fast, she says. She puts her hand out to like catch the wind.
Cool.
Does like the wave.
Does the wave out the window?
Does the wave.
Who hasn't
all.
done this? Seriously.
I still do it. If I'm
Me
like,
too, all the
I'm on a
time.
passenger.
My van has no air conditioning, so I do it all the damn time. Just saying.
It's classic.
All right.
Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to
Of course.
inquire on that. Then she would meet up with Ruse and Bryn.
They're going to set you up as a petting zoo, Ruzid.
Great, not this shit again.
Cannot possibly be churning up nearly as much business as now show where people know Ruzid.
No, this is going to be more of the 2 copper bits in order to pet a dragon. And Tati is going to encourage the little kids to come up. Hi, I'm Tati. Would you like to pet a dragon? For 2 copper bits, you can pet a dragon.
For 2 silver, you can jump on its harness.
For 1 gold, we can do a caricature of you with the dragon.
Don't touch the frills though, or you'll get poisoned.
For 5 gold, we'll send you an IOU for a Ruzid action figure.
I know.
All right.
And for 10 gold, we'll just take your gold and give you nothing in return.
For 10 gold, he won't eat you. This is now a shakedown.
Awesome. So, the interest was to set up a base of operations. Coin, you went running across rooftops. Where
He
did
was
you go?
scouting for an ideal location.
Okay. You'll find a tavern. You'll find an office building. You'll find a house.
An office building, I'm assuming in this context, is like a workshop.
It's
Right,
actually
am I-
a mercantile office.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I
It's
think
the kind
that
of
would be
place that Coin
Coin's...
would be absolutely comfortable with.
He would love it, but he's also considering, like, can Ruzid fit into here? Is it in a good part of town? Is it like short traffic to the castle?
Yeah, you guys could probably get to the castle in a matter of, a couple minutes.
All right. Coin's gonna like unhelpfully send a Discord snapshot of this place. It'll be like, come here. After
Okay.
5 minutes.
Petting zoo's closed. Bridget stands up and starts walking over, kind of ignoring everything.
Okay.
And
One
two
kid,
people
like-
just walk out of the way.
One kid paid 2 copper and he didn't even pet you. He just got up and left. Like, can I have
Bridget's
my
not
money back?
happy.
Oh, jackass. The kid's not very pleased with you, Ruzin. You care?
Bridget's not very pleased.
He's not very pleased. Aw.
Having a tough day.
He's like, it's like when you're at like the birthday party, you have the hat on, and you're just frowny face the whole time.
Too
All
real.
right. So you guys can reconvene just outside that office.
Yippers.
You look at it. It's got purple stained glass windows.
Just to confirm, this place does appear to be like not in active use, right? Or
Oh
at
no,
least...
it's absolutely in active use.
Okay, that could be
A
a problem.
Nope, now it's ours, right?
I guess if we lock the door, board it up, we're good.
Finders
We're gonna
keepers.
feel it out, but we're obviously trying to find the ideal spot to lay low and not get found by anybody. So I think we'll land on this spot, but we're gonna keep watches for duration. Just keep an ear out on the front door.
Okay. Cool.
But we'll set up shop here.
Sure. As you guys set up shop here, we're going to go ahead and put you inside there.
I think realistically, Bryn would implore us to consider trying to find another location. But it's probably like, what time of day is it right now?
At this point, you would have arrived early morning because Bryn would not
early
want to
morning?
land. Yeah, Bryn would not want to do the
Oh.
landing at night.
That's even worse then. If this, like, if it was the end of the day, then the office is
You guys
closed. But
could wait to the end of the day, of course, but that's up to y'all.
I don't think it's a good. I think Bryn is gonna say, I don't think this is a great idea. This place is clearly still being used, and I don't know what hours of business they do, but there is a non-zero chance someone coming to work is gonna find us. And that could be a problem. I really think we should find a place no one is going to find us. And then Coin is gonna counter that he worked really hard to find this place and that it has very nice fixtures, but he will relent and he will go back to Batmaning the roof while the party remains here for the time being.
Okay. So you can
But
go
Coin-
Batmaning looking for somewhere else.
Coin wants to scout for. He's looking for like a clearly not being maintained building, or some sort of, doesn't really look like a public park kind of town. But if there's any sort of, greenery, a garden or something that's sort of tucked away.
Sure. You're going to find a warehouse that is abandoned and fairly non-active. It's got stores of old wood and a couple candles that you could light, but no one's been in here for a while.
Coin's gonna send a photo of it to everybody. Just gonna say, "This good?"
Bryn's
Reynolds.
going to respond, "It's better than somewhere where we're going to have a lot of people."
Yeah, I don't think a lot of warehouse workers are
Just
gonna be
want
coming in.
somewhere quiet, and somewhere where I don't need to be the petting zoo.
So, Coin, this place is used to dry wood for various wood crafts.
Ooh.
If you've ever done high-end woodworking, things like pull cues or sculptures, wood carvings, you want your wood to be dry and stable before you start working on it.
How does one dry wood?
You leave it for years and years. If you ever,
Oh, you
you just let it sit in a dry space for a very long time, and it will eventually dry out, and it won't
Hard work.
warp anymore. Right? Yeah, it's not hard work. It's just leaving it in a dry space.
Oh yeah, then no one's showing up for a while then if they're
Right,
drying wood here.
Yeah, they're drying wood here. In fact, I'll just go and show you here. There you go.
Nice.
This is commonly done. I have a contact who makes world famous pool cues in California, and he ages his wood for 7 years.
That is such a patience test. I respect it.
Well, he's been doing it for like 40 or 50 now, and so, he just keeps resupplying and then letting it dry, marking it, and keeping track of when it's ready.
Makes sense. You do it long enough, you get into a pattern.
Yeah, when you're selling $30,000 pool cues, that's how you make your money.
Better be a damn good pool cue.
They're
Better
all
be
custom.
Industry standard 52-inch.
Yeah, they do the whole thing. All right. So, you guys
Gonna
now have a base of
settle.
operations.
Ruth says, "All right, gang. So, first order of business. Sounds like we need to get into the castle because we think that's where the prison is. Do we have any ideas on how to do that?"
Have you seen the entrances to this castle at all?
There's definitely an entrance to it. I just don't know if we're gonna be
Yeah, I mean,
able
it's
to
got
walk.
the classic front gates you can always go and try and walk into, but I don't think that's going to work that well for this group. We could, once again, try and send a quiet strike team in, but it's going to
Maybe
be
what
rough
we
to
do is have
go
like
in
the
and find the
like,
prison.
quiet team go in, and then like grab the person we need to get out. Maybe cast Dimension Door to teleport out with them. Then we go loud and we fly away on my back or something.
I think having both a strike team and a recovery team would be good in case. This is Bryn suggesting, yeah, we send a few people in stealth, but the rest of us should be nearby, ready to call to action if things go wrong.
So if things go wrong, what do you want me to do?
Eric's
Start
going to be back in
smashing
90
stuff.
seconds. Be right back.
Could like break down a wall or two, maybe.
Bryn would say, I think a dragon, in a worst case scenario, could make for a good distraction. Could certainly draw eyes away from whoever gets caught. So if it comes to that, you could probably, honestly, it kind of depends on how much they know, because we could just storm the front door altogether, or we could just, fly around and make a distraction. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Guess,
Well, maybe the strike team could find another entrance somewhere. Maybe they could find like a back door and let us in.
I mean, if we can just fly on invisible stuff, can we just fly over the walls and then find a good, clean place to enter? Maybe a window?
We could, but the more people we send, the more could go wrong, I think.
Maybe we just send one and like that one person just needs to know Dimension Door or some teleportation. and then we can grab the person that we want to get out of the prison and teleport them like together, and then we get out.
I think Bryn would say it's not a bad idea, but that he is not entirely comfortable going in alone, even if he can teleport out. Him getting compromised early into combat
It's
Could-
a little risky for sure.
could prove really detrimental strategically.
Maybe you and Oshin, because both of you are capable of teleporting around.
I think Bryn would ask Oshin what he thinks of it, if he's comfortable with that. I think Bryn would say he's more comfortable with it if he's going with someone. It doesn't necessarily have to be Oshin if Oshin doesn't want to.
Yeah, I'm okay with whatever people think is easier, or I guess the better decision. If things start to go south in there, do we think that it's better to have me in there to, like, if Brink would have the ability to get them out, do you think it makes
Right.
more sense to have me? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I think having two forms of teleport in as the strike team means double the opportunity to pull both of us out. If one of us gets compromised, the other has a chance to cover the other's back.
So what I was going to say is, do we think that that is safer, or having one of the teleport people with everybody else that could bring them in if things get too tough?
It's a good question. That I legitimately have to stop and weigh personally, because from my point of view, not necessarily as Bryn's, having one teleporter outside is a bit safer, because then you can get the recovery team in more a bit faster. Whereas if both your teleporters get compromised, it's really hard to account for that. I think sending in, somebody a bit more tanky or adaptable with a teleporter, or someone faster, might make sense too, as opposed to sending in two casters.
What if Coin and either Coin, or it could be like Tati and Brinko? Well, because if Coin's the fastest, depending on how far it is, that if Brin goes down, like, either I can teleport everybody else in, or you could theoretically, like, run out the fastest.
Coin is gonna say, I don't think we necessarily have to send in a caster. I have a freedom of movement tattoo, so I have at least one chance to avoid getting pinned down. I think that's all I need to get out. Unless they bar all the doors and windows, which I doubt they'll be able to do in time. Plus, you could send in Tati, and you wouldn't have to worry about her getting stuck between walls either. And I think Bryn would not entirely disagree with that analyzation of it. Because I do think having the faster, more stealthy characters makes the most sense. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense sending in your backline caster as the recon, except for the fact that he has to teleport out. It would help if we knew what the inside of this castle looked like. But Bryn will say that he doesn't know where we would find that in the city. And so we can't really rely on that as information. Where is this place geographically in Toivoa?
Geographically in Toivoa, we will go ahead and pull up the map for you guys here.
We went from Bourbon, so I think we're in
We're
West.
here in Vehan.
Okay.
So if you want to draw your map stuff.
I don't think I have anything to draw. I do like moving the red circle to indicate where we are currently, but I don't. The reason I ask is because I'm just trying to gauge if Coin tends to have a bit of tertiary knowledge on places
Sure.
if he's mapped it out well, and so sometimes he can kind of have an intuition for like how do they build their buildings, but I don't think, especially for a castle which is made so uniquely, I think we are mostly coming in blind.
This castle, you didn't get to see it, so you would have to get more information from Sason.
Yeah.
Which you could do, because I assume that Sason is no longer flying as Pegasus and has come down and landed and is inside this warehouse with you guys.
Yeah, I'd come in. We should still have the telepathic bond up anyway, so I could always do that. But...
Right.
I think Bryn would say maybe we send in a recon team of our fastest members and give them 2 jobs, maybe a priority list. Number 1, verify where the prison is and that it is in the castle. If so, we can move to bringing in the rest of the team. Job 2, if it lines up, would be finding another entrance, like a back door. But I think all that really matters is looking around the castle, verifying that our guy is probably in it, and then going from there. I think that's what Bryn's read would be.
I think, honestly, what I lean towards is sending in just Tati with a bunch of buffs. And then we just kind of see what happens. If we stay out here, we have the key. We can always pull that if something goes wrong. That's up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's the stealthiest. Quite frankly, no one else in the group is quite as stealthy. She can also go through walls if situations get sticky. I think she'd be pretty okay on her own, especially, again, if we give her some buffs and stuff to get through there. Let her just get a general layout, see if she can find any sort of entrance to a prison. Maybe, we can information gather, but probably just get a general layout first, and then go from there.
I think that's a good
Tati.
idea. What's the worst that can happen?
So the worst that could happen, we can compromise Tati when she's not here. Yay!
The worst part is, knowing Ray, Tati would say, let's do it.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question about that.
And I, as players, am trying to consider the limitations of Tati, but I don't know the limitations.
Ray would not consider the limitations. Ray would do it because it sounds fun.
Yeah, 100%. I'm thinking of limitations not as a deciding factor of if she would, but rather would I interject as coin on a basis of something that could go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's probably our best idea. Sending one person in means that less people, less likely to get caught. She is the most qualified to go unnoticed, I would say. And she could probably do it the fastest too, just by virtue of wall walking. Because even Coin would have to run the entire floor to find a way up or down a level. I think it's a good idea. I think Bryn is going to similarly stop and consider what precautions can we make.
Valid.
I think he's going to say, Tati, I think you should go in, but you should be ready to at any point yell Baba Booey, and or maybe more accurately, if I can't teleport you out because I won't see you, just give us a signal, and we will spring into action. I think Coin will tell Tati, like, whole time you're in there, I need you to imagine a bird's eye view of the castle and I need you to keep track of where you are in it. That way, we can find you. And Tati will say, "Can do, boss." She'll salute, not realizing that tracking an entire castle from above is probably a bit much to ask. And I've been role-playing with myself for the past 3 minutes, so I encourage, if anyone else wants to talk, you can cut in.
I think we should just think about what buffs we would want to send here. I feel like Bardic Inspiration for sure.
Yeah.
I can give Death Ward. I can actually lend my Boots of Elvenkind, which would give advantage on stealth. Should be pretty
She would
handy.
have to attune to those, right?
No, those do not require attunement.
Okay.
Yeah. Handy things. What other spells do we have? We have the item that can store spells, right?
Oh yeah, it's like the Ion Stone?
Stone?
Yeah, we could put some spells in that if she would change what she's attuned to, so that she can attune to that. There are some spells that could get you out, like some teleportation and such. I think it's 3rd level or lower, though, which will limit things a little bit.
Locate person would not work in this instance to find this guy, right? Because we have not seen him.
You have not seen him. You don't know much about him. You can search for him, but I think you actually have to know him. I'll double check on that.
Just verifying. I believe that is the case too. I just
checking.
mentally processing it.
Locate person.
I think it's like you need to be familiar with them.
It's also a 4th level spell, so it's not going to matter here.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any buffs that would be handy here?
Coin will say if you wait 8 hours, I can give another speech.
Yeah,
Give
that
you a
won't
high
work because
five.
you're not familiar with the person.
Indeed.
I mean, I guess we could do invisibility starting off, just straight up regular invisibility.
Like right now?
I mean, right before Tati goes, I feel like it's not a bad thing. It lasts for what, an hour?
Yep.
Yeah. Good call.
Cool.
I do want to throw it out there, considering it is 12. Do we want to consider saving this for later? Because I also do feel bad throwing Tati into this potentially dangerous situation.
Oh, we're going to. We are absolutely going to. Yeah.
Cool.
I think it would be so much funnier to start the session like, "Hey Ray, you're alone in a castle."
What we're going to do is we're literally going to let you guys do all the prep and everything, and Tati's going to start next session on this mission.
I love it. I love it.
So
Yeah, I assume that this is the point where we can plan and then
you guys can do all the planning you want for next week right now. You can set her all up with all the bonuses, everything you want to cast, everything you want to do right now.
Let us legitimately consider what time of day would this operation best occur at.
Bryn's going to say at night.
I do think an at-night operation would be better too.
Do we think it would? I mean, if there are guards or something, would they not be a little bit more active in the daytime? Maybe either way. I guess it might not matter.
I think there are like certain hours where it boosts up, particularly during shift changes, I would guess. We obviously don't know shift changes, but you could presume there's probably, the night shift comes in. I don't think we want to be, although there is an argument to be made doing it as the night shift changes, but that's getting a little too methodical. I think doing it late at night, not like 4 a.m. late, but doing it at like after midnight.
Okay.
Because I just think that maximizes shadows and stealth. I think at that point they're either shift changing or have shift changed. So I think they're probably spread a bit more thin at that point.
Cool.
You know, they might have more guards for the night shift for all we know, because maybe they've had a break in at night before.
Oh, absolutely. They've had attempts.
And that's what I'm figuring, like, they're gonna, but like, if we do it like 4 or 5 a.m., is there anything about that compromises this mission? I mean, obviously the guy we're looking for is probably gonna be dead asleep, but that's not a big deal.
Hopefully not dead asleep.
I'm thinking like figuring out where we're going
We
to
could
approach.
spend an evening. Um,
What were you saying?
Only heard spend an evening.
You're lighting up, but we couldn't hear you.
Did I lose connection?
There you are.
Oh,
It seems like it. We heard only like the start.
perhaps we could spend an evening or a night examining the fences and the patterns.
The guards or
layout
whatever.
discreetly.
Yeah, honestly, spending a day tracking patterns is a good
Patrol.
idea. Legitimately, coin, because he can be invisible without expending like a true resource, right? So he could basically spend 20 minutes every hour just kind of people watching the castle.
Cool.
And it's only going to be a day of data, and it's not going to tell us a lot about the inside of it, but it might give us a good entrance point. Might tell us when they open the doors. Coin's going to say that's a good idea, Remanos. I think we plan to do this operation either tomorrow night or 2 nights from now. And we spend this time gathering information. Because I don't think we're on a time crunch.
If we do so, we should find a place with a vantage point.
You're gonna make me find a third place?
If we're spending time, I think I could just try scrying on the individual or inside the place in general.
That is worthwhile. After all, we should also test what wards we can detect there. Certainly, we should know if it is warded against divination or perhaps teleportation.
I didn't even think about that, but that's a good idea as well.
Okay. You want to try scrying on the place? Bryn's going to say, yes, we have to.
Would we have heard of anybody other than the individual that we're looking for that would be in there?
You have not.
Okay. Then yes, I'll use Wish to cast Scrying.
Okay. What are we casting scrying on?
The individual that we're looking for within there.
Okay, that automatically fails.
Nice.
And
Can I
roll an
tell-
insight check, and I'll tell you why. If you get high enough, you're shooting for a 14. With the 21, if you could scry upon this individual, then our friend Kendall would be able to scry on this individual as well and be able to find him. He's
Okay.
actively being hidden from the people who he should not be revealed to.
Can I tell? I don't know if that is something that you would be able to tell when casting the spell, though. Does that like get blocked by the place or him?
You would not be able to tell that, unfortunately. It just fizzles.
Okay.
I'm giving you the insight check that this is very definitely warded. Either a ward upon him directly or upon the location. But I'm not going to tell you which one.
Okay, cool. And I'll relay that to everyone as well.
Bryn's going to comment, well, that's something.
Do we know what type of ward?
One that blocks scrying.
No.
Does it block teleporting?
I don't know. I'm not entirely sure how related those are, like, or whether they would need different like spells to block them. We can try it, but I feel like we should probably just wait until we're trying to go in.
Better hope they don't track movements. Otherwise, the stealth ain't going far. I think I'm gonna go out now, and I'm just gonna start spending 20 minutes every hour. I'm gonna go find a perch. I'm gonna go pretend to be a grotesque. And I'm just gonna watch the front door.
I love the fact you know the difference between a grotesque and a gargoyle.
And I know it because of this freaking campaign. I think I got corrected twice, and now I will never say gargoyle again. Technically, a gargoyle is the water, right?
Correct. Gargoyles are water spouts.
So Coin just needs to fill his cheeks with water and start spitting. And that's a gargoyle.
Yes. Education with Eric in D&D.
Yeah.
I'm making an impact.
So would confusing those two be a grotesque mistake?
It would be a grotesque mistake.
Ugh.
That makes me a gargoyle of a teacher.
I'm leaving the call now.
Well, I guess that's the end of the session. then.
Yep. So, as we let Sea Toad Coin loom over the city, a grung in the night, the
Good.
shadow of Toivoa. You're vigilant. You'll watch some of the guard movements through the town. You'll be able to figure out when they do and do not do their shifts. You'll recognize a couple of the guys, a couple of the girls that travel. You'll also see some of the ruffians, the ne'er-do-wells, the fiends and devils that crawl through the streets at night. This is not just humanoids. These are the refugees of Bourbon, the dregs of society that should not be let out into the open. Given enough time, Coin, this island probably should be purged all the way down, as far as you can tell, except perhaps the guards. The guards that roam the streets will avoid the keep. You see no one come out, and you see no one go in to the main castle. The gates remain closed.
Peculiar. Quite peculiar.
But what we'll do is next week, we'll send Tati into the lion's den to figure out what you guys can do recon on. Next time on the Toivoan Trainwreck. As always, guys, thank you so much for choosing me to be your GM. There's a ton of amazing ones out there, and I'm always thankful you choose me to be yours. If you know someone who wants to play one of my games, send them my way. I'd love to talk to them. I am going to be doing some one-shots coming up soon. We also have that Battle Royale on July 27th. If you guys have not participated in the Battle Royale, check that out. The rules and signups are over on the website over at gmeric.com under the store in the one-shot section. Go check that out. It's the only way to win a GM Eric bomber jacket. We do have other prizes based off of participation, so get in on that when you can. Again, that's July 27th.
Bomber jacket.
It is a ton of fun, guys. We have an absolute blast. Combat goes fast. There's great sportsmanship every single time. The rules are up there. Check it out. We revised them for this Battle Royale, and I think they're really nice and balanced at this point. Otherwise, guys, have a wonderful night. Check out the YouTube channel. Check out the Patreon over at patreon.com/GMEric. We did an art reveal earlier today over there, so go check that out. Got a ton of fun things coming up. I'm super excited to share with you over the next couple weeks. But we will catch you guys on Friday evening for the Friday Night Lights, and we may, not guaranteed, but we may do a hangout, like an AMA tomorrow or Saturday night. So look for those when they arrive. Have a wonderful night, guys. Please stay safe. For those on Twitch, thanks
As
for
always,
coming.
Eric.
Oh, go ahead.
Awesome as always, Eric. Thank you.
Oh, you guys are amazing. I love GMing for you guys.